Hey y'all, what's going on? JamiThatsMe here. Sorry I'm a little late, y'all. Okay, I was testing out some stuff. I did a little video for the Instagram so they know that we live. Mm. And I did it on this new camera device that I have. And let me mute that. Because I try to be like the girlies, just a little piece, okay? And we're gonna get into the review, okay? But I can run my mouth just a little piece as more people come into the video. If you guys could do me a favor and be sure to like up this video for me as you come in, that would mean a lot to me. YouTube has this thing in my personal when they start doing changes on the back end, okay, and they constantly doing changes. It starts to. I feel like they don't always send out notifications. One, they scaled back tremendously a few years ago on sending out notifications. Be very clear. But I feel like it's even worse when they start making, alterations and editing and working on stuff on the back end. They further don't send it out. So yeah, if y'all could like go ahead and just like up the video so the people know that we are live. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna enjoy it anyway, especially if you're a returned individual coming to the channel, a returning subscriber or viewer. Now, if you're a viewer, girl, we trying to turn you into a subscriber. Okay, so go on ahead and subscribe. Okay, because I'm just trying to figure out why would you not? Why would you not subscribe? But you always probably typing my name in trying to see if I did a review. Girl, you know you love me. Come on over here and just join the family. Stop playing. Anyway, just did like a video or whatever. I had got this is not promo child. I had saw this thing on TikTok and I had wanted it because it was a piece of cheaper. This little extra muse that they got, it's kind of like one of those Osmo Pocket 3s. It's made by the same company, but it's a little cheaper. So I was like, okay, let me test this out because I haven't quite used it yet. And I got a little mic with it. And I was feeling a way about the mic. But I'm going to have to take it out and test it in public or whatever the case is. So I was like, okay, let me do a video real quick and upload that for the Instagram so the people know that we is over here live. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Listen. Girl, hold on. I done dropped my charger. What's up? Love you guys back. What's up, Tiffany? What's up, Andrea? Good morning. Okay, what's up, DG? I'm sorry. I almost called you DDG. Please forgive me. Not to be confused with that one. I'm so sorry. DG, what's up? What's up, Spiffy? Okay, what's going on? Grow with Indisha. Did I say that right? What's going on, honey? Yes, y'all come in, like up the video for me. Thank you guys so much for being here. Okay, everybody, what's today? Tuesday, y'all. I have been getting like ever since the daylight savings has changed. I just feel like I have been so damn off. Like and working from home, I be forgetting what day it is. Sometimes it be feeling like it's the weekend day. Some of the weekend days feel like they weekdays. Try it just be. And you know what? It could just be the world at this time. It may not even be that I work from home. Some of y'all maybe about then got ready on a damn Saturday or Sunday, getting ready to go in the office and then realize, oh, shit, it's the weekend. I got, the day just gets away from you like that. You know what I'm saying? But, it is what it is. So, all in all, we are here to talk about Real Housewives of Potomac as well as Married to Medicine. I think for me, we're going to start with Real Housewives of Potomac for the people. I feel like Real Housewives of Potomac was more of a filler episode, but it wasn't. I'm not gonna say it wasn't bad, but it was decent. It was a decent episode, but it was giving filler. I feel like Real Housewives of Salt Lake City gave a better filler episode than Potomac, but it's okay. Two different coasts, two different types of women, two different situations going on. But I do feel like there might be, or is that on Married to Medicine? No, I think it may be a little bit of parallel that I might highlight in Real Housewives of Potomac as it pertains to Salt Lake City. Okay. I know you guys also, as I'm speaking on Housewives, I did do a review for Beverly Hills, episode 1, but then I took it down. Okay. And a person got in the comments, but I already was thinking this on my own. It was like, don't drop us, like you did last time in the middle of the season. Cause y'all know I will drop something, girl. If I feel like it's not that entertaining, your girl will drop it, honey. Hello, excuse me, hello. I will drop it and move the hell on. Um, But I kind of dropped it the first episode and I just hid the video because I said, I, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna be into Beverly Hills. I might tap in when there's like a really good episode. I think I'm gonna watch it, but I don't think I'm going to like review it. We'll see. It may have to be an episode by episode basis. Like if it's good, I'll talk about it. If not, I won't type thing. I don't want you guys to expect that type of consistency because I will fall off on that. And I just felt like this past episode, they spent so much time talking about Garcelle a bit for me. And I was like, can we get like what y'all really finna get into this year? Cause it don't seem like nobody got anything going on for real, for real. So what we really finna be talking about? I am liking that new lady, Rachel Zoe. Okay, I will say that, honey. I feel like she may have gagged a little piece. I feel like she may have gagged a little piece of damn cow at the end, honey. Okay. Just a little piece, child. I said, Not somebody trying to hook you up with Mauricio. I said, baby, if 3 people coming to you at one night in a party, baby, that's Mauricio. That's not them 3 random ass people trying to set y'all up. That's him sending them over there. But anyway, that's another. Okay, good luck. Good luck. Okay, they might be in this divorce so long that they decide to stay the damn together. I ain't no telling. But anyway, not you done sat up here and clock my tea, ma'am. Okay, the choosy chosen, because I could be choosy too. The way I fell off in the middle of Married at First Sight. And that was so messed up. But I felt like how they dropped the episodes, I was behind. And I thought about it this month. I said I should have just kept doing the reviews because I was still watching the show. I still was rolling my eyes. I still had opinions. And shame on me because I should have still did the reviews. I should have. But I was like, okay, I'm just behind. By the time I could get to the next set of episodes, they dropping the other set of episodes, So I was just, child, I'm sorry, y'all. I promise I'm going to try to do better. It be difficult though with like a tight schedule that I be running, but it's okay. We done got through it. It's over now. Okay, come on, Kirk Franklin. It's over now. But listen, was that Kirk Franklin? I think that was I feel like I can make it. The storm is over now. Yeah, that's Kirk Franklin. Come on, Kirk. All right, it's over now. So we here to get into Real Housewives of Potomac. If we have over 100 people in the chat, I would love to have 100 likes on the video. So please go ahead and do just that for me. I'm gonna try and take my time, okay, with this review. So we kind of start this episode off with Giselle and Wendy. Right? So they're going to the Mercedes dealership and Giselle is ready to upgrade her car. I'm not mad at it. Miss Ma'am said, I won't be upgrading any fashions. I won't be updating my hair. Understand? Okay? Period. But what I will upgrade is this car. I will spend all this hundreds of $1,000s on a car, but I will not, okay, not on a boat or with the goat, Sam I am. I will not upgrade my fashions and I will not upgrade my hair because that's just too cheap. You know what I'm saying? I'm Giselle who spends too much damn money for a teardown. What the I look like? Okay? I overspend money on things that's a piece of a necessity. My fashions aren't really a necessity. How my hair look, girl, it's not that much of a necessity. When you look like this, it's not much of a necessity. So why would I like, you know what I'm saying? Like the face gonna eat down and anything I put on is gonna give because of how I look. Right? So I'm going to spend my extra hundreds of thousands of dollars on fixing up my house. Okay. And give me a G-Wagon. Period. You know what? I'm going to say this. I'm not mad at Giselle for going to get this G-Wagon. I feel like after you've raised these 3 beautiful daughters and whether you're paying for college or whatever, you help get them to that place. You deserve a treat. I know we don't like her at times. She gets on your nerves, but I'm here for mamas getting their treats, girl. And if you want you a G-Wagon, go get you a G-Wagon. Okay? So I'm not even mad at that. I've always wanted a G-Wagon. So I'm like, girl, get that. I don't like the price. I feel like a G-Wagon, and y'all people that are more into cars and know more about cars than me, please let me know. But I kind of feel like I think a G-Wagon may be worth at least $100,000 more than some of the cars that's on the market that they charging like 3 times the amount for. Like if you gonna get it, get a big one. However, I recommend a lease. Maybe it's cool to own at least one luxury vehicle, but I feel like lease a luxury vehicle and maybe own you a Honda. I feel like Honda's got more life in them than a lot of these cars out here. In my personal, maybe a Ford, but I think Hondas are like the best cars. And I really just say that because them be the ones I see on the road, like the old ones. Girl, these folks still be getting around in them things. So clearly it's a lot of life left in them. You understand? Okay. So, and over time, Honda has definitely upgraded and everything. I think they may have some electric cars too. Not sure, but they've done a better job. However, I do think like a Mercedes, maybe like a G Wagon may be more worth it with the 100K versus some of these other cars. However, they always get us on the name and stuff and the symbols. That's what we really be paying for. But aside from that, I would lease that. I would not buy that. I would lease that, especially if I'm a person that knows that I'm gonna want to be in a new vehicle in 3 years, potentially. Right? That's what I say. And I think people used to try and crack jokes about leasing and all of that, and it's bad. And nah, bitch, I think we got gooped on the fact that you pay down 5, 3. Well, really, girl, I'ma say, I don't know. I'ma say like 4, 5, 6, 7 years on one fucking car. Be very clear about that. Now, when you get a lease, you probably gonna have to pay a little bit more on the front end, but at least you can get at home. And I tell you one thing you shouldn't have is no underhood issues. Aside from getting the regular maintenance that you're supposed to get on the vehicle, you ain't got to worry about your engine light coming on and all this extra shit. They having to spend out more money. Girl, get your ass a lease and hop in. But that's just the girl. Listen, I'm not an expert. Okay, I don't know y'all pockets. Do not listen to me. But on the outside looking in my personal, I would lease a luxury vehicle versus buy one. Because also I think about when you trade in one of those buy cars. Let's say you bought a car and in 3 years you want to trade it in, but you still got, let's say, maybe 20,000 left on the car you owe. When you buy that new car, they gonna do that, but roll that 20,000 over, right? So you over here buying another car for 25,000, thinking you owe it, and that's about a $45,000 car. What? Huh? Who said that? Okay, if that's the case, I can't better leasing a damn $45,000 car and giving it back. As long as I don't go over my mileage. Now, that's where I feel like be realistic about your miles. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you live like an hour out or something, because that may not be feasible for everybody, right? If you live or you like in Atlanta, you can live 20 minutes away from your job and it could take you an hour and change to get to work. Okay, I'm just like, if you got to hop on the interstate or something, it could really take that long. So think about that because your miles are going to get ate up. But if you're a person that may work from home or something, that might be best for you because you're going to be like limited on, you ain't going to be burning up your miles every day going in and out of work. But girl, I'm just rambling, child. Anywho, that's what I say. And you know what? I'm so glad you said that, Scotty G, because I saw this other chick on TikTok, and she had just got her like a BMW, and she had went to I think it was a 7-Eleven to get gas in her car. Girl, she didn't even know what kind of gas to get. She had to look on there, and she said, okay, I think it's this one. And I'm like, oh, girl, you need to be sure. You should have asked them questions before you left that lot. Don't put the wrong thing in there. But she went to a 7-Eleven, and I was like, is that gas good? You know what I'm saying? Like, is that gas good? Like, do the people get certain gas from certain places? Like, I don't know. Y'all probably seen some Bentleys and stuff pull up to a Quick Trip or Raceway or something like that. I don't know. But I'm like, do y'all have special places y'all go get gas from? You know what I'm saying? I know for me, like I don't get gas anymore since I've gotten, well, actually since before I got this car. I don't get gas at the other places anymore, like Shell gas station, Quick Trip, Raceway. I don't get gas from them no more. I mean, it don't mean I won't at some point, but I just try to go to a certain place and keep the consistency with that one location. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like everybody gas ain't good. Am I tripping? Especially when I had heard about some gas stations be putting water or something like that. I've heard about people's cars getting messed up. So I don't know. But I just feel like do your research, try. I feel like while they over here selling these expensive cars, they need to own a damn gas station. But hell, they probably gonna charge off for that too. Because remember, I don't know if y'all heard, they're gonna be trying to charge people a monthly fee to use, I guess, like the radio or use your Apple device in your car or some weirdo shit. Like now we've gotten on this subscription model where they finna try and build everything up, and it's like, nigga, it's the car. The car already costs too damn much. Like, why are you trying to charge me a subscription for extra for stuff that should just come with the car? You know what I'm saying? Just to plug is it AirPlay? I think it's AirPlay. Just to plug my AirPlay up. That's crazy. But that's just what I've been hearing out there in these streets, okay? But let's keep going. Getting back to the show. Thank y'all for letting me get up do a little piece of rant, honey. Okay. So Giselle asks Wendy, well, first of all, Wendy meets up with Giselle and she lets her know, like, girl, I'm trying to get me a G-Wagon too. But I want to give you a heads up because I'm not trying to pull no Stacy on you. Okay. That's what she says. And you know what? I can appreciate Wendy letting Giselle know because to me, although some of us, I don't know how y'all feel, but some of us may feel like, oh, you ain't have to let her know that. Da, 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 da. It's like we talking about Giselle. We talking about Giselle who will make something out of nothing. So go ahead and put that on camera. And for the record, I had already been thinking about this too, but I'm gonna let you know here so that you don't think that I'm trying to copy you on some Stacy type energy. Okay, let's be very clear. And also, if Wendy would have got a G Wagon as well, I wouldn't think to me that she's copying off of Giselle because I feel like that is a common thing that a lot of entrepreneurs as well as reality individuals, okay, celebrities do. They go and get them a G Wagon, right? That's just what they do. So I wouldn't have thought anything about it one way. If anything, I could see Wendy in a G Wagon actually before I could see Giselle, even though we saw Giselle driving one. And does she already have one? I'm not sure. And it's no disrespect to Giselle, but I do just mean this in all honesty. When I look at Giselle, I do not see that type of luxury in my personal. When I see Wendy, I do see not so much as luxury, but keep up with. Does that make sense? So I can see her going for a G Wagon before I actually see Giselle going for one. But do your thing, whatever y'all want to do. So Giselle asks Wendy, how does she feel about Stacy? And Wendy says, well, sometimes I think that people don't know how to tell you that they like what you're doing, so they mimic it. I mean, true. And sometimes people will tell you they like what you're doing and still mimic it, right? So Wendy says that she also that Stacy reached out to her stylist to style her. We had a similar incident like that on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but it was a little different because Kelly allowed Britt to use the stylist because she was gifting that to Britt. And then I guess Britt took that as an assumption, like, oh, she must be okay with it, so let me go and book their services. And it seemed like Kelly did not like that. And I understood Kelly not liking it for a little bit because I don't want a person that I'm working with, when I need them to be there for me, they can't because they're there for you. That could be a piece of a problem. But the fact that Wendy is not tripping off of Stacy likely using her stylist, she just calling attention to it, it does make me think now, like, Kelly, you was really, and I probably said it at that time, not sure, that you was overhyping that situation. Okay, because the stylists will figure out a way to make it work because they made it work on the trip when they styled you and styled her. So I don't know, but that's that. Now, as far as Stacy needs somebody. I'm not gonna hold you. She could try and find somebody. She was working with Vivian. Vivian was putting her in attire that other folks had on, therefore making her look like a copycat or whatnot. So she got to find somebody else, okay? Maybe she could have gave Wendy a heads up and said, hey, like, I want to work with your stylist. Or it could have been a situation, being that Potomac seems big, but not that damn big, right? It could have been a situation where somebody else recommended that same person to Stacy for her to use. And she was like, okay, I'll go with it. Oh, you style Wendy. Like, oh, okay, cool. Right? And just go with the flow. There's that. So she says that when she sees something that she likes, meaning Stacy, she thinks that Stacy just copies it. Right? Wendy says that she doesn't think that she's a bad person, though. She thinks that she's sweet, but the ladies have been just jumping on her back. And you know what, Wendy? I can, for me, appreciate how you're taking this. I appreciate you not making this a big deal about the stuff that Stacy is doing. I feel like if it was Karen, she gonna be on somebody's head top saying they copying. If it's Ashley, that's what Ashley, everybody's gonna make it a big deal. And I could appreciate Wendy for not making it a big deal because, in all honesty, when I think about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Rachel Zoe has styled a lot of people in the entertainment industry that a lot of them are actors. So why can't the same stylist style multiple people on one show? Right? So, I mean, I feel like that kind of debunks the theory of me thinking that, well, shoot, if I need them for me, how they going to be there for me if they there for you? And I guess that's something they just got to work through, or it depends on who first come, first serve on bookings, I guess. Right? So I do appreciate how Wendy is handling that situation because if she would have handled it differently, I don't know. We'll see as the season progresses. we'll just see how things progress. So far, so good. So Giselle feels like, well, when people are jumping on Stacey, it's valid, and Stacey be making her own bed, and she got a lie in it. And Giselle calls Stacey a big fat liar. This is what Giselle says. Stacey is a big fat liar. She says she doesn't understand women that move like that because you're sneaky. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't dispute that Stacey is a liar, and we're gonna get into some things later, right? Um, I think Stacey may lie about things that it's not that it ain't even that deep. But we're gonna talk about all of that as we get more into the episode. But I want to talk about you for a little bit, Giselle. Because when you say that, okay, of course, a person telling a lie is gonna, of course you're gonna think they sneaky. But then what do we make of you when you put a blatant lie out there about Chris Bassett and continue to perpetuate other lies by somebody else? What will we think of you? Because I think at that point, that's beyond sneaky as your story continued to change throughout the season. That's not cool. Okay. Now, they later discuss Monique once they get in the car, and they talk about Monique and her returning to the group. And Giselle says that she doesn't know how to feel about Monique being back. She says that in this group, they are accountable and she wants to clear the air with Mo at the end of the day. So they will have a talk at some point. So Stacey and AJ, this is the best friend she meets with, right? So the Shio brand, or the Shior brand, is launching on Juneteenth. Stacey, baby, the fact that you are leaning so into the Nigerian culture and you care and love it so much, why didn't you pick a more significant date, I guess, to the Nigerians to possibly do your launch on? I don't know. It's something about that. But you decided to do Juneteenth. So I'm not going to hold you. It's something about that just a little awkward for me, love. It's just I don't know. And hopefully it comes to me later, but it's a little off. It's a little off. And then I have to go back, Stacey, to when you were like, oh, I was able to move some things around when it came to, what's her name? Jassie's wedding. It gives a little bit of, like I said, a few episodes back, you're not beating the allegations of what Giselle said. You're not really beating the allegations of, oh, she only went to Kay's event because of yada, yada, yada. Like, girl, you knew that your stuff was not for the launch. And you were in control of the launch. But it's certain things, it's certain things that Stacey is saying that makes me question just how much ownership does she have in this company. Am I the only one that thought about that? I just have questions. Do you eat the box off the top? I just have questions. How much of this brand do you own? How much partnership do you have? Or is it somebody else's and I don't know. Because she did name it. She named it Shior. Let's keep going. But and keep this in mind, guys. I do like Stacey, right? But if it's not making sense a bit, I just have to call that out. I'm not going to be able to continue. I'm not going to be able to just ride like I don't see some stuff. So we just going to have to call a thing, okay? And it can be just like Wendy. Wendy called a thing. She admits that this lady copies her, and she still thinks that she's a sweet person, whatever the case is. And I feel like we can do that. We can highlight certain things and still kind of give some grace to, like, I still like her though. You know what I'm saying? Like, what she's done is a bit harmless until it becomes harmless. Then of course our tunes are going to change at that point. But it's a tad bit harmless. So it's like, okay, it's cool, but I'm noticing things, right? And I also want to highlight this too. Let me highlight this as we talk about Stacey. I want to get this out of the way. I feel like, and I mentioned this over on Patreon, shout out to my patrons, that I feel like with Stacey, these ladies really aren't doing, in my opinion, just a little bit, okay? And y'all can dispute that in the comments, okay? You can educate me a little piece down there because, I may be forgetting some stuff. But in my head, how I'm looking at it is they really are doing to her what they've done to a lot of other people that they felt like they were lying, right? And kind of stand on their head, similar to what they did with Karen. When Karen would be up there kind of lying and stuff like that, they'll keep bringing certain stuff up. When Karen wanted to avoid conversation about rate taxes and all this and that, like they still brought it up. So Stacey is not exempt from that. So it's going to happen. I love how she backs them up off her though. I will say that, and keep backing them, okay? Like Karen did. Karen have to back them up off of her. Oh, we finna get into so much. I hope this review ain't too long. We got a lot to get into. Okay. So let me keep going. So, boom, Stacey, she has the Shire brand. It's launching on Juneteenth. She says she sent the group invite out to everybody. She says that Ashley. Now, I don't know the reasoning as to why Monique did not attend, or did she not send the invite out to Monique? Y'all let me know. I can't remember. Did she send that invite to Monique and Monique said, oh, I can't make it because of this? Because I don't think she sent the invite to Monique. Let me know. It's, I'm not sure. So she says that Ashley, she tells AJ that Ashley has Monique thinking that she had been dating Chris, right? And that she's been telling him about Mo, trashing him. And so AJ is like confused because he's like, what the heck? He's like, oh yeah. He said, see, y'all old. Y'all, this is too old for this. Y'all need to stop. I'm with AJ. Okay? Y'all know y'all too much. He says that she needs to speak up for herself and put her foot down. But see, that's the thing, AJ. She has been. They just still gonna be coming for her. And she gonna have to keep putting them in their place every time. Okay? And that's that, okay? So that's what's going on with Stacey. She about to get ready for this event. Tia and Stacey the next morning, at some point, Tia gives Stacey a call. I don't really care about the fluff of what all she had going on in the office. Cool. She calls Stacey. Tia says that she didn't like how things happened at Giselle's party. And Stacey says her response to her was a bit surprising and she doesn't know what's going on with them and she wants to pretty much fix it. And Tia says that she hasn't written her off yet. She tells her that she is upset with her and they both look forward to cleaning up any of the issues that they have, right? There's that. All right. Now, Ashley and Josh. I know, at first I wasn't going to talk about Ashley, but we're going to get to Ashley for a second with this Josh situation. So Ashley meets up with Josh to pretty much, break up with him. Really, she meets up with him because she feels like they're in different places. And they are, right? I talked about this last week when Uncle Lump told her, you need to let him go. I agree. Okay? I agree. So he doesn't make as much money as Michael, in my opinion. Therefore, he won't be able to take care of Ashley, her house, and her kids. Because that's something that she highlights. She says that she thinks that because she's already been married, she has kids, he doesn't have those things. She thinks that at some point he will want those. She's not wrong. He is going to want that at some point, right? She says she doesn't know if she wants more kids, right? And if she does, it needs to happen in the next year or two. And I think she said something like, he's not going to be ready in a year or two. And he like, how you know that? Why would you say that? Right? And she kind of looks at the ground with a slight grin. And it's like, Ashley, this is how I know you be on your FS, your fuck. This how I know, okay? Just when you look at the ground and you get that slight grin, like she just, ugh. Ashley, I'm just not going to hold y'all. Ashley disgusts me. She just disgusts me. That's the short. The way some of y'all feel about Giselle, I feel about Ashley. Okay? Ashley pisses me off more than Giselle. I know y'all like how. It's just something about her. And so ever since she started this in season 1, trying to blow up Robin and her taxes, but when it comes to her and hers, she wants it to, like, everybody need to cheat. Hell, I can't do Ashley. I cannot do Ashley. Every time I want to like her, she pissed me the hell off. So she mentions the financial elements of everything, right? Basically, Ashley got more money than him. Ashley's doing the show, making more money. Ashley done got money from her ex-husband. So she's more financially well off than him. He says that she doesn't understand or know his finances. That was interesting too, because it's like, you don't know. I think Ashley made an assumption that because he doesn't have lavish things like her, doesn't mean that he not stacking up his money. right? Doesn't mean that he's not investing his money, and once he get to a certain amount, he'll pull it out or whatever. Maybe he could be a millionaire in about 3 years. I don't know what that man got going on. You know what I'm saying? But she's looking at it, and I don't fault her for that, looking at it in this moment of like right now. Like, you ain't got what I need right now. I don't know what the future holds in 3 years to be rocking with you. So I'm not going to say she really wrong for that, right? She says they've never taken a trip together. So he mentions Pittsburgh, right? Like, didn't I ask you to come back to Pittsburgh with me? And she was like, yeah, but I'm talking about internationally, right? And I'm like, not all couples' first trip is internationally, right? Some people will take you on a domestic trip, okay? First to see how you are, to see if y'all should even go out the damn country with each other, okay? And some people, first trip will be internationally, right? But this is where I fault her too, because it's like, did you have these type of conversations from the beginning? No, she didn't. Ashley never set her boundaries, expectations, none of that from the beginning. Ashley really just got with this man to fuck on him. And then at some point, because she's lonely, continued to use him. And I think he eventually started to catch feelings, right? Ashley says that this relationship isn't the right place for her, right? I don't disagree. Ashley says that she supports a lot of people in her family, and she wants a man that can handle that weight, right? Handle it or take over it if he needs to, right? And again, I agree with that. What I don't really agree with, bitch, is you using this man and then bringing him on this show to embarrass him. That's what I don't like about you, Ashley. Another thing, and we could get into it, bitch, you have no storyline at all. Your storyline literally is to bring people on this show to embarrass their ass. You brought your mama on here last week, okay, to embarrass her about being with a man for 23 years that you know she not finna leave. You done brought this man on this show knowing that he never had what you needed from him to begin with. You already knew that. You already talking about sheets and all this other stuff. You just wanted him for the DICK. Okay? You could have just told that man that shit on the phone. You used him for a piece of a storyline, brought this nigga on the show. And he may have been a willing participant because obviously he showed up only to embarrass him and be like, yeah, it's the finances, babe. You don't have as much as me. Bitch, you knew that when you hopped on his dick. Is you cool? You do that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the expectation should have been set up from the front. She should have already told him, like, hey, this just sex. I feel like, dude, tell them like they tell y'all, okay? Men will tell you out the gate that it's just, I'm just trying to fuck. Okay? Why you can't say that from the beginning? This ain't no relationship. We ain't going steady. Why you just couldn't say that from the beginning? And then now you want to let him down all easy. Like, it's the finances, babe. What it really is, Ashley, your ass done got this money from Michael. And you already know that if you get married, that fucking money gonna stop. And in order for that fucking money to stop, boo, you gonna have to get a nigga that's making more than you or more than fucking Michael. So that once you stop them damn payments, baby, you're gonna still be able to come up off the next nigga. And let me tell you, bitch, I am not mad at you, hoe. I can't stand your ass, but bitch, I'm here for the play. Understand, I am here for the play. Go get you a man that got more than you, but your problem for me is entertaining these fucking things that you know you're not finna get no chance to. Like, for what? You wasting your time then. However, at the same time, I feel like, yes, date around, but date around. If you're gonna risk, in my personal, if you're gonna risk your box like that, risk your box with that guy, what you looking for. Okay? So if you were to have slipped up and got pregnant, bitch, you would have gotten pregnant by somebody that's on a Michael level or beyond. But I can't. And let's get back. Let's get back to you bringing motherfuckers on this show and embarrassing them, bitch. Why the fuck you brought your sister on this show to embarrass her? I know that's your sister's daddy, bitch. You did not need to bring your sister to no motherfucking location to buy her some shit to have a conversation. First of all, let me say this. Let me get this out of the way, and I'm going to have to tag on your sister just a little bit because I'm trying to understand. She couldn't tell me shit negative about a nigga I'm dealing with if your fucking daddy is a drunk. Your goddamn daddy is a drunk and my mama is a slave. I'm a slave for you. Like, it's given I'm a slave for you, ma'am. You can't tell me shit about no man that I'm dealing with if this is your fucking daddy. Understand that. But what I'm not finna do is bring my sibling on a show, probe them about their fucking father, and then have their ass crying. Like, first of all, she's not even a cast member. Why are we leaning so much into her life? This ain't even your fucking daddy either. Yeah, he may have been in your life for a good amount of time. Okay, because he was there for 23 years with your mama, so he was there for a little bit of yours. How about you bring your siblings on the show who your daddy put in that obituary and not your ass, and try to get a connection and maybe learn more about them and your daddy, and hope that they don't close the door and lock that bitch behind your ass. So that's just what it is that I'm saying. I said I wasn't going to get to this level, but Ashley definitely makes me do it. So let me just calm down. But I don't like that. I'm like, this is the third person you done brought on this show in my personal to embarrass them because you have nothing else going on. The biggest thing you did have would have been you and Josh. I will give you that. Because that is a relationship that you are actively in, or was in, or half in, or whatever y'all had going on. And I don't think she should have been with him. She should have broke it off. But you should have did that shit a long time ago. You knew he ain't had what you need from the beginning. You knew that. Okay? Especially once that paperwork was finalized and he already told you, like, Michael already said, you probably can get this alimony, you probably can get this coin or get what you gonna get. But when you get married, all of that's gonna stop. Okay, and then he ain't finna let you move no man up in that house with his name on it if it's under the business LLC. Did you get, and see, let's get into that. That's a storyline. Let's talk about how you would get the house transferred out of the business name that's shared with you and Michael to your full ownership. I'll even give you that. But you bring in other folks, so you better not pull that. Let me tell y'all, Bravo. Like up the video for me, please, and thank you guys so kindly. Bravo. If she has to tug and pull at people like this, we have to accept that this woman needs a break. This woman needs a break. If she has to pull her young sister who's supposed to be excited about going off to college to talk about her drunk ass daddy, and she over here being emotional and crying and sad and all that, she can't change that man. Your own mama can't change him. Okay? That girl said, I don't even see myself coming back. Who would? Who would come back to that household? I would never come back. Okay? Bye. However, I'm just saying this woman needs a break. And I just don't think that the people are as loud about her needing a break as they were loud about Robin needing a break. Okay. Yeah. Y'all ain't like Robin, but I feel like Robin had about more of a damn storyline than Miss Ashley. Ashley got divorced and she over here peddling people around, embarrassing their ass. The least we could have saw was how Robin and Juan was gonna act after them allegations came out, and then she had to her spot got blown up on social media with that lady in that hotel room and him saying, "Oh, she ain't had no money, so I used my whore." Girl, that was bah. That was giving more than what Ashley giving. Child. I'm just saying. Y'all gonna have to do something about Ashley. Okay? I understand that y'all like her a lot. And let's be very clear, and I don't care. Ashley, baby, you are the DEI hire. That's why they still got you on the show. No different than Kim of Real Housewives of Atlanta. If she would not have really walked off and negotiated her own show, she would still be on there. Okay? Because they love to have a Caucasian woman in the midst of a group of black women, right? At least one. Married to Medicine scared the shit out of Carrie and any other white woman ready to walk on. So I haven't seen one of them come on in a minute. But you are the DEI hire of this show for sure, which is why they hanging on to you so tight in my personal. Okay? But that's just how I feel. Ma'am needs a break. Okay? Let me just give me a second. I just want people to be as loud about Ashley as they was about Rodman. That's all. That's all. That's all, girl. That's all. Monique and Giselle. Let's get into it. Excuse me, not off the show permanently. Um, Monique and Giselle, they have this sit down. Monique gets ready to go in to sit down with Giselle, and she says that back in the day, she used to think that Giselle was a hater, miserable, and wanted to pick on people. I slightly disagree with some of that. I feel like, as it pertains to you in particular, for you, she just saw through your bullshit that you had going on. That's all that was. I mean, honestly, it was no different than how she kind of moving with Stacy a little bit. Like, she just saw through your bullshit. Been there, done that. It's given. I know fake when I see it. Like, that's what that was. Okay. Giselle asked, "Where should I start? Drag me, Monique," when she finally comes in and sit down. And I said, "No, you should start with where y'all beef started at. Why would you say drag me, Monique, when the person that said it ain't even here to discuss it?" And if, quite frankly, that particular thing for me didn't have nothing to do with you, right? It did, but when the altercation happened, that ain't got nothing to do with you. That's between them at that particular moment. If it's some resolve that needs to happen. When they got into it the first time when Mo was pregnant, like, girl, no. I think that you should go back to when she first came on the show. That's what y'all need to go talk about, right? So you can start from the beginning of y'all's beef, the beef that y'all got. Okay? That's what you start from. So Monique says that she had to sit back and ask, why was I mad at her? Now, when I first saw the episode and stuff, for me, I felt like Monique was saying, and I still don't know, what I took it as, I thought she was saying, why was I mad at Candace? Like, I had to sit back and think, like, why was I mad at her? Like, why was she mad at Candace? Right? That's what I was thinking about. Because I would think you know exactly why you mad with Giselle, right? Giselle has done a few things, okay? And the biggest thing I felt she did was trying to bring the story that your best friend or ex-best friend Gigi put out there about you messing with your trainer. I don't think Gigi, I don't know, and y'all let me know. I don't recall Gigi adding the I can't remember if Gigi added the portion about the latest baby not being Chris's. I feel like that could have been a Giselle thing to add extra sauce on it, like she did with Stacy when she sat up there and said she's not to be trusted around husbands or children. I feel like she added that piece in, right? So I feel like that's the biggest thing. Like, you should know why was I mad at her? Like, you should know. So you must be talking about why you was mad at Candace. Is that what that was about? But if it is about, like I said, Giselle, then you should know. Anywho, she says that she did a lot of self-reflection and spent too much time being the victim. And she was pretty much mad at everybody else. And she says that she started to peel back the layers and started to confront things, right? She says that this was the one area she hasn't made peace with. I feel like the reason Monique says she hasn't made peace with this area is because she ain't been on a damn show to correct her image. That's why she hasn't made peace with that. She may have made pieces with other folks, talking to them, talking to her mama, talking to her dad, talking to other folks, getting them to see her side, whatever the case is, But when it comes to the show and the viewers of Potomac, because her fans gonna ride with her, period, right? Good, bad, ugly, whatever, they're gonna ride with Monique. But the other people that did not think she operated in the best at that time, those are the people, in my opinion, she still has to win over. Even though Monique may say that, she doesn't care when she does her interviews and stuff, she does. I do believe that is kind of embedded in her over these years, even before Chris, where she wants to be liked, right? So she is going to likely say and do things to not look as bad, basically. Not look as bad, right? And she didn't, that's the reason, in my opinion, why she's still unsettled in this area, because she hasn't been able to come back and clean her image up with these people, okay? Or with the viewers, right? So let's keep going. What else did she talk about? She tells Giselle that she has a tendency to be in people's relationship. Very true. Very true. And I think it's very unfair for you to do that when you don't bring somebody on this show for people to get into. But after that stunt was pulled, I think when Monique did, was it season 2, 3, when Monique ended up having that conversation with Sherman's ex and stuff like that. And I think eventually Sherman broke up with her because he couldn't take the scrutiny, whatever the case was, when that stunt was pulled. I don't think Giselle has brought anybody else on the show. I feel like she only brought Jamal on the show because honestly, bringing Jamal on the show wasn't much different as Stacey bringing TJ in the way that people said on the show. I don't think Giselle had to pay Jamal for that. I think that Jamal felt like he may have owed that to her in some capacity. Like, I'll come on the show and we'll act like we're rekindling so I can have a storyline. That's probably why, in my opinion, everything that Monique was saying at the reunion in her book, Giselle was likely unbothered because we all knew that it was a scheme that they both set up, like, to come to us with the BS. Like, that's just what there was. In my opinion. So Monique brings up the trainer comments that Giselle brought to the front. And when she said that, I said, oh, so you do remember. So if this is about Giselle and you were trying to recall why you were mad at her, then that means you do remember because you damn sure bringing it up. I don't think you ever forgot. I don't think I don't think Monique ever forgot what those ladies did to her. Especially as I've watched interviews of Monique over the years since she's left the show. It's always been that other show and this, that, and saying certain stuff and slick stuff about the ladies and da-da-da-da-da-da. Like, girl, nah, if you're still doing that, you ain't forget what they did. You have not forgotten what they did. You may be working through your spiritual journey, your healing, or whatever the case is, but you ain't forget. So anywho, so she said she was always in protective mode of her family. She felt like since people were attacking her situation, she felt like she'll attack hers and come at Jamal, right? But as I said, for me, and I think a lot of people just love that moment, and kudos to y'all, but it didn't really give. I mean, like, she ain't really tell us a whole lot of nothing that her daddy, Giselle daddy, wasn't already saying. When he was on that hot mic dragging the shit out of Jamal, daddy was pissed the hell off she brought him in that restaurant to sit with that man. Daddy was not having it, okay? Not at all. So I'm like, okay. Monique says that she felt bad for Giselle's daughter, that her actions impacted her. Like, I felt so bad. Like, oh my God, I felt so bad. And I don't know how she felt. That's what she said. But I'm like, why are you feeling bad? You ain't do shit to that girl. Now, you may have called out whatever you knew, right? But at the end of the day, I don't feel like it's your responsibility to have certain actions for her child to look up to. That is on Giselle and that girl daddy. And they daddy been a dog since Giselle was with him when they were babies and probably before they were born. Why are you taking on that weight as if... I felt like, honestly, I was like, damn, Monique, you landed on thick right here. Some part of me, I was like, okay, you landed on thick. Like, you feel sorry for the kid. Like, what? You landed on thick. I don't know. And then it's no disrespect. It is. Like, why are you feeling bad when this same girl's mama was literally finna bring a story onto the show about your child not belonging to your husband? She didn't give a fuck about your kids. And when Giselle sees your children, I promise you it's not gonna be, I felt so bad. Giselle gonna say, hey, like ain't shit happened. I promise you. I promise you that. She gonna hee hee ha ha smile. Hey, okay. That's what she gonna do. But she not finna feel bad. Understand that, okay? Yeah, that whole sit down was a little awkward. A bit. It seemed like it kind of gave off. I don't know. It kind of gave off Monique pleading to be in a group or something like that, and it's like, what? I know y'all needed to have a conversation. I mean, she did call her out though, as far as you like to be in people's relationships. You know what I'm saying? But it was something about it. I was just like, girl, you landed on thick. So much you feel sorry for her daughter. Your daughter's so beautiful. She's so this, she's so that. And oh my God, I'm like, oh, please. I'm not saying sorry for none of that. If you ain't sorry about what happened between you and old girl and the friendship crashing down, why are you sorry about that? I feel like a little piece of all is fair in war, girl. All is fair. Sorry. You ain't say nothing about her kids. You said something about they daddy and they mama. They adults. They could get it. Like, what? So, I don't know. Anywho, Giselle felt like real life hate was coming from Monique's side more than her. And Giselle, and I think what Monique said to her, she was like, now, wait a minute now. You not innocent. And she said, no, I know I'm not. I never said that I was, but I'm just letting you know. You had more hate on your side than I had on mine. Be clear. Child, listen. I feel like this. I don't know. I'm not going to say that it was more hate coming from either side. But what I will say is once Giselle knows that she could fuck with you, she will continue to fuck with you. That's my personal. See, in my opinion, what I think Giselle's problem is that she plays too damn much, okay? That's Giselle's problem. She plays too damn much, right? And she does SHI for the show. And everybody is not on that type of time with you. That's the thing, right? So, Giselle, she just play too much. Because I feel like, and when she gets cussed the fuck out, like when Wendy and Candace do her, then she want to keep her distance. Then she want to be like, oh my God, they're just, I don't want to have anything to do with her. I don't even want to talk to her like, right? That's what she does. But the thing is, Giselle is goofy. Okay. And I'm not saying goofy as in like a, you know, how people like, you're goofy, like in a bad way. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying goofy as in plays too much. Right. And she will do things for the show similar to Ashley to get a reaction out of you. That is the same stuff she would do to Karen. Oh, Karen was messing with XYZ man. Oh, me and Robin finna wear these shirts and make fun of your tax issues. Oh, we finna do this and we did. Like Giselle, yes, it's all effed up, but what's also going on is she play too damn much. Okay? And everybody not on that time. And it's always a person that play too much. And then when you cuss them, tell them, chill your style, sit your down. Then now they want to act like you wrong. Like you did something to them. I ain't do shit to you. But get you the fuck up off me. That's what I did. And that's why she's going to continue to come for Stacey until Stacey cusses her out like Candace and Wendy did. Then she probably really going to try to get you off the show. Right? But in all honesty, Giselle can't really get nobody off the show. I mean, because I feel like if that's the case, Wendy and Candace would have been on a long time ago. She can't do that. Right? But she could try to like just not interact or have less interactions with you. But she played too damn much. That's why when she would do stuff to Karen, she would laugh and we would be like, what the hell? Like, why you laugh? Because she played too fucking much. Okay? All for the betterment of the show. To keep the show. And honestly, and to me, and I know y'all may feel like it's different, but I don't think so. I feel like this shit ain't no different than Heavenly a little bit. But some of y'all praised Heavenly for the shit that she do, though. Right? I think the difference that y'all would say is that Heavenly ain't putting no allegations out there like Giselle did with Candace's husband. And that I would have to agree, as well as the things she was willing to bring on the show for against Monique. And that I would have to agree. But outside of that, both of them play too much. Right? But you know, I guess it is what it is, son. So, but that's just what it is. Like, yeah, she just plays too damn much. She do it to everybody. So Giselle felt like Monique was the one. She felt like when they had the whole barn situation, she felt like Monique was on one and wanted whatever happened. She felt like she wanted that to happen, and Monique was like, "No, I would never want that to happen." Right? I don't know. I don't know. I would have to go back and probably watch the episode. I don't know if she. I don't know. It's hard to say if I think she wanted a somewhat altercation with Candace. Did she want it to come to what it came to? I don't think so. I don't know. I don't know if she wanted to get physical, but I do feel like she wanted that back and forth with her. Right? Because I feel like that season was the season, which is so odd to me, that Monique favored Giselle, befriended the lady that was going to bring the rumor on the show about you. But the person that gave you the heads up about it, you put them in the opposition when, honestly, y'all weren't talking. So she told somebody else to tell you about it. And see, that's where I go into questioning, right? Just a little piece, because I was like, well, how did that person actually run it back and tell her? Because see, at once upon a time, Candace thought that she could trust Karen, remember? And then she realized and learned that she couldn't trust Karen. And then when she snapped on Karen, Karen decided to go to HR on her, right? So it's like she probably came out better shooting her a text. I don't know, but they weren't talking. So she was like, hey, Karen, can you just let her know this? But how did Karen tell it? How did it get back? I don't recall, and I'm sure y'all let us know. But how did it get back to her? How, when you playing telephone with somebody, that middle person cannot relay things accurately back. But at that time, again, she felt like she could trust her. But anyway, let's keep going. So she says the way that she acted was terrible. She takes accountability for that. She says she never wants to experience that again, and who would? Okay. Giselle was like, she was wondering who was in her ear that made her be this crazy. She says, I blame the husband. Well, let me say this. Let me wrap up what Monique said, and I'll tell y'all who I blame. Monique says it was pressure, and she won't put it all on Chris. Okay. So I don't know how it was pressure when you've done your interviews, you lean a lot into not being happy at home as to why you lashed out on Candace. But then in front of Giselle, you're now saying that you won't put it all on him now when it comes to that. Right? I personally think that the whole back and forth between her and old girl to begin with, her and Candace to begin with, I think it was unwarranted, and I think Karen influenced that in my personal, and I think Ashley Darby influenced that as well, and possibly whatever team she had around her. And I wouldn't be surprised if Chris also influenced that as well with whatever stress he had going on, right? So that is what I think, because I had to start back thinking about, like, the information got to Monique by way of Karen because Candace asked her to tell her. So how did she relay that? So I feel like Karen about had a hand in that, just a little piece. Not thinking that it was going to cause a fight, though, but just thinking it was going to be a little bit of discourse. Same thing with Ashley. So there's that, all right? At the end of the conversation, the ladies did agree to talk and to trash each other, but not to pretty much fight each other at the end of the day, right? And they walk out hugging each other and laughing. That's how the scene ended. Okay. It did give the same way people were saying. Some of y'all were saying when Wendy sat down with Giselle, it seemed like, oh, you just want to be cool with Giselle so bad. You want to be her friend so bad. And Monique came on the show in the same fashion. Sitting down with this lady was given the same thing. The problem is, it's similar to Wendy, right? When Wendy responded to, I believe it was Brooke Ashley, and she said, well, no, we sat down for like 2 hours, like we sat down. It was like a long conversation. I think the same thing happened with she and Monique. I think they were there for a minute. It was a lot to talk about, a lot to get into. And they primarily chopped it up for Monique, because here's the thing. Although people want Giselle to take accountability and stuff and say her piece or whatever it was, and she may have, according to Monique, she did. I feel like they only showed Monique because Monique had the worst exit. Right? She's the one that has to come back into the group. And also, in my personal, as I said before, she wants to make sure she fixes her image, because this was the one place or the one area she felt she haven't healed from or repaired or whatever the case is. And I feel like that's because she hasn't been able to show different on the show. That is why, in my opinion, they showed more of what Monique had to say, trying to show her taking on some accountability or whatnot, than they did with Giselle. Right? Because they are thinking, in my opinion, that the audience is more so looking at what does Monique have to say for her actions versus what Giselle has to say. But I do get how y'all feel. Like, Giselle, you got to own up to this. You got to own up to that. I'm just telling y'all why I think they edited out that portion of what was being said. Okay. So, did anyone see the fight? See, when the fight happened in season 5, that Giselle actually pushed Monique when Monique said she felt the hand of someone pushing her, hitting her. No one ever checked with Monique. That was a big conversation. Actually, I thought that conversation came up before Monique even said that's what happened, because it was so many slow-mos that was going on. Like, when they first was getting into it, she did kind of like it was Giselle that kind of did the push, right? And that's when, I don't know, it was weird because Monique's story kept doing a lot of changing. And I don't know if it was because she was blatantly lying about stuff or if it was because everything happened so fast she couldn't remember a lot. I don't know. But because at one point she was like, I felt the push, so I reacted. Then it was Candace hit me in the face with a glass, so I reacted. And it's like, girl, that lady hit you after you grabbed her. And actually, you was already flipping her hair. You was already putting your hands on her, right? So that's kind of like, I don't know. Girl, I don't know. Now, if Candace would have called the cops and said, she's touching me. She's touching me. She's flipping my hair. They would have been like, assault. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, I'm glad that we are past that moment. It is what it is. Should Candace and Monique decide to reconcile, it's totally up to them. I don't see them doing that right now. Monique doesn't seem to be in that place. Candace seems to be in that place and not in that place all at the same time, and yeah, I guess it's just what it is. And now since Monique is back on the show and she has said that she's changed, you just got to give her time to show y'all that she's changed. Now, at how reality TV does work, in my personal, there are going to be some fans that she's going to keep. And over time, she's not going to have some because they're not going to favor her in editing if she's on this show long enough. It's going to be some SHI. So, I mean, it is what it is, child. Yeah, Monique just wanted to get that off, child. I don't understand the backpedaling. I wish she was healed for real. She wouldn't be out here spilling her and Chris's tea and saying her and Candace were never friends. Now, see, this is what I was thinking, girl. When I heard it, because I watched the Watch What Happens Live before I watched the episode when I dropped that video yesterday. So I was thinking that she was saying that there was no friendship because they haven't been friends in the past few years since the incident. I ain't even think about the fact that she was talking about there was no friendship at all. Y'all sure that's what she was saying? Because if she was saying it, now we know that's a lie. Because was she calling her like her little sister and stuff at some point? Like they were really close. Like, I mean, yeah, like y'all, like you felt extremely quote unquote betrayed by her for whatever reason. I guess because she sat there as they were talking about you, but she also tried to inform you. So I don't know, but yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, y'all. I thought she was just saying, "Oh, we not friends. We haven't been friends in the past few years." So like, it ain't no friendship because it wasn't one of these past few years. That's what I thought she was talking about. But I mean, I don't know. Let me smack my lips a little bit more for you, Trisha Miller girl. Okay, y'all be killing me. Not people have natural things that they do, and you get offended by it. Girl, I'm not over there watching you. Okay. I'm not over there telling you to take that bonnet off your head, girl. I ain't doing that. Or take that outfit off because it don't fit you right. Now, did I do that? I ain't even had to do that. I ain't tell you to lotion your hands because they looking like you in your 80s. Your hands is giving 80s and your face giving 40s. Like, I ain't do nothing like that. I love you. But don't do me, girl, I'm not trying to smack. That's just how it is. You know what I'm saying? Goodness. No, why she didn't even have to eat me up like that today? Now, why you did me like that? Girl. Anyway, it's no hard feelings. You can stay. Ain't nobody finna block you. We still love you. It's just like, dang. Okay, let me watch my smacking then. Okay, so anyway. All good. What else do I want to get into? Because we get into Greg, Mama K, and Angel. Y'all, why is Greg? Why is Greg wasting? Why is he playing in these people's face? Why is he wasting these people's time? I feel like Greg did not like seeing Kay getting dragged at Giselle's party. And because she didn't like seeing seeing Kay getting dragged at a party, now he wants to entertain the idea. Or I got another one. Production could have just put that in there. This could have been something that was filmed well before Giselle's thing, and they just decided to put that in there so that it could look like, well, hey, I mean, at least they're trying to do a little something. He thinking about proposing to her. The lady brings out a ring that's over $1 million. I believe it was. Not the ring probably costing more than the house. That's crazy. That's probably why Greg was like, which one you want? But honestly, I think Greg was doing that because he's not really trying to go down that lane with her. Did anybody see Greg standing next to Mama Kay? Why Greg and Mama Kay look like they could be together versus Greg and Kay? Why he look better with your mama than with you? And Mama Kay is fine. That's a fine. Girl, the jeans is, oh yes. Yes, ma'am. Mama is beautiful. But baby, he wouldn't be able to handle her. He would not be able to handle Mama Kay. Because Mama Kay won't be put up with none of that. You hear me? And I'm wondering how old is Greg? Is he closer in the age of her mama? Or what? Anywho, he over there looking at a ring that cost all this money. I said, baby, Greg is not buying that. Especially if he's supposed to be over here getting this condo. He not getting that. And I don't think that he should, in all honesty. I don't think that you should have that big of a ring. Like, it's just, if you want to get a $20,000 ring, cool. If you want to get a $2,000 ring, come on. Like, I just don't think it got to be that expensive to me. Because why would I have a partner spend that much on a ring when they could put more? If you got that much, let's go put some of that in investments. Okay? That's what's going to matter. That's crazy. But anywho, when it came down to it, y'all, Greg was moonwalking the hell out of it because he was trying to talk himself out of buying that ring right there. I want to get her opinion on. I want her to see it. Mom was like, oh, she going to like it either way it go. Okay? She going to like it either way it go. I said, y'all, the same way Greg is finessing them and talking himself out of buying this ring is the same SHI that he does when he's talking to Kay. Simple as that. Okay? Anywho, oh yeah, brother is handsome too. They have a beautiful family. They have a beautiful family. I have to say, beautiful family. Excuse me. Happy Eddie. So Stacy tells Wendy, and this was crazy to me because Stacy tells Wendy that it might be a conflict of interest to have her at her event on site. Of course, Wendy isn't bothered by not being invited. She could care less. But I'm confused because I'm like, why would there be a conflict of interest? Not because you guys are both selling weed or something of that capacity. So I'm like, are you using her vendors, her husband's vendors or something like that for it to be a conflict of interest? Are his vendors competing with yours? Like, something about it was a little off. I don't know what that is. I need to know what is the real tea behind Shior and how much ownership do you really have in this company? I don't know. It's kind of giving a collab, right? It's like a collab type of thing. And it's so much of a collab that I feel like it ain't even gonna be around in the next 2 years for some reason. Like, it's something that's odd about it. I'm not gonna hold you, Stacey girl. It's just something that's odd. Okay. And then production, y'all was wrong for showing us Wendy trying to remember her passcode because she typically uses credit. Wendy, I find that hard to believe, my love. Just a little piece, and some of y'all can relate. But I just feel like you still gonna remember that passcode unless it's a code that the bank gave you and you just went with the code that they gave you. Now, if you put your own code in there, then I would think that you would at least remember your code. You can't be using credit that much, right? I don't know, but I was like, y'all was messy as hell for putting that in the scene in the shot. But anyway, let's get to the Shior event, right? Let's get to the Shior event. I believe they good. The gummies are good. I believe they good. They look good. They look like they good. I just don't know how much of an owner she is in that company. I just have questions. I'm hollering. Somebody said, I don't know mine because I shop online. I'm screaming. Okay, so y'all can relate. So quite a few. No, it's not Shayo. I could have sworn that Tia said Shayor. Remember at the thing? Then I thought Tia said, because I had to rewind it. And she was like Shayor. So it's Shayo? Well, hell, Stacy said she was valuable too, didn't she? I'm hollering. So it's Shayo. So I've been saying it right the first time. So I'm going to blame Stacy. Blame Stacy. Because Stacy came in with her British Nigerian and she messed it up. Because she had me saying Shayo. And it's Shayo. Oh. My bad. Okay. Oh. I know that's right. I'm a Yoruba, not Stacy. I'm screaming. No, I blame Tia. Did I say Stacy? I meant Tia. I'm blaming Tia because Tia came in there. She told me some Shayo. It's Shayo. I'm not listening to. You know what? I feel like Tia gonna be in the same spot as Stacy next year. But anywho, let's keep going. All right. So we're at the Shayo event. And Stacy has this partnership with the company that she says has businesses all over the U.S. So she believes that she has no choice but to be successful with this brand. Okay. We'll see. We shall see. Hopefully she is. Don't wish bad on Stacy. Hopefully she is. I'm just confused about the conflict of interest, okay? Thank you for the super chat, Tiffany. What did you say, Hannah? Why your voice goes so high? Blessings, girl. You know, I just like to be animated at times because I'm like an animated person. You know, it's just something that I've done since like forever, for real. For real. Like, I've always been like this. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. Lee Carter. Stacy says something about making history as the first woman to own in DC, so she gotta be pretty involved, right? IDK, but I'ma stick beside her. I'm hollering. You know what? When Stacy first told us that, I was like, can't be. I didn't believe it. When she first said it, I was like, what, girl? Not the first one in history. It's too many of these companies around for you to be the first one up there in DC, girl. Maybe she's talking about in her county or something. I don't know. Let's keep going though. So Stacy invited everybody, but only Jazzy, Tia, and Ashley showed up. Stacy says Wendy couldn't be here, but she's been very supportive. Now, girl, you know you told that lady she couldn't come. Timo not there because, I'm sorry, Timo. Timo not there because he over there traveling. Ashley shows up with the same wig as Stacy. Okay, highlights and all. She talks about the dress or whatnot that Stacy had on that she wore before. And she's like, you trying to be like me? And then Stacy said, who's your inspiration? And then Ashley said, not you. Girl, yeah, I ain't even going. Let's keep going. I ain't got time. Let's keep going. Ashley says Monique's choosing. No, so that Stacy said, let me pull you to the side. I want to talk. I want to talk about moving forward. So with them talking about moving forward, it leads to Ashley calling Stacy a lying asshole out of nowhere. Right? Stacy tells Ashley, listen, everything that you've come to the front to me on, I've pretty much proven you wrong. Right? Monique is letting the issue go, is what Ashley says. So I'm going to let it go. And I'm like, Ashley, it's not even your issue for you to hold on to, love. It's not your issue for you to hold on to, love. It's not. So Ashley tells Stacy, if you stop giving me stuff, then I'll stop coming for you. And I'm like, what is she giving you, though? Somebody else gave you information about her and TJ. You trying to force that down her throat like she lying because you couldn't find her divorce records online. Right? Then it's giving he say, she say with the whole Kiana, Cookie, and Chris thing, but you don't want to believe that somebody else could have did it. Like, I mean, it's just, yeah, y'all too old. So afterwards, Ashley tells Stacy after they got into it, right? And they yelling back and forth and stop hazing and no more this and no more that and no more lying and stop lying and all this other stuff. First of all, Ashley would have got out. Ashley would have got kicked out my event. Ashley would have had to go. Sayonara, pack her up, get her out of here. Want nothing else to do with her. Let her go. But no, you keep Ashley in there. Now, afterwards, Ashley tells Stacey that she's been authentic as much as she possibly can on this show, talking about herself. She says that in this group, we hold each other accountable, and it actually helps us to get closer as a group, right? And I'm like, but how can she be closer with y'all if you learn that things didn't happen how they happened, if you learn that one of the people don't give a damn about what happened, and y'all still trying to force it? It kind of reminds me of Salt Lake City a little bit with what the people did with Lisa. Now, granted, it does give Lisa's MO to do something like that, right? But y'all trying to force Lisa to admit it? That I just think, wouldn't nobody want that. You trying to force, it's something about that. It was giving similar teas to me. So Stacey says she's learning that, but she says, but she wants them to get a better understanding of each other, right? That's what she's saying. So Stacey talks with Tia, and this is where I don't think that I'm gonna be all the way team Stacey. I don't even think I could be all the way team Tia, really. With this particular situation. Give me 1 second, y'all. Make sure you're coming in. If you have not liked up the video, please go ahead and do that for me as we get ready to get into this whole Tia and Stacey debacle of it all. Give me 1 second, y'all. Ooh, child. Excuse me. I need some more water, honey. All right, let's get into it. So, Stacey talks with Tia about the dinner date, about Timo, right? She said he was flying out and Stacey agreed, right? No, I think and Tia agreed or whatever. So Stacey says that she introduced Tia to her husband because Tia felt like Tia was neutral, right? And I was being picky about words a little bit because I was like, neutral. I said, Stacey, baby, you being recorded, right? You said she felt more trustworthy, I thought. You're being more, or you said that she felt more safe. And maybe that is what Stacey meant by neutral, right? Because she felt no way. She wasn't here for the TJ situation of it all or none of that. Like, she's coming into the group like green in a sense, I guess. So that's why she said that. Now, Stacey tells Tia that at the dinner when Wendy called her, she says that she told Wendy that Timo was out of town and she never was supposed to be there to begin with. Then she says Tia says that she was full of SHI, and that's not true, right? She said Tia was like, no, she's full of shit. That's not true. I just saw her. That's not really what Tia said. That's not what Tia had said, okay? Now I kind of went back to that whole scene between Stacey, Timo, and Tia, right? And then the sit down between Tia and Wendy. Now, when Stacey invited Tia to meet her husband, Timo did meet Timo. Timo said that he will be out of town, so he couldn't do the dinner. And Stacey did lean into that lie. And she added that he would probably be gone for a few weeks or 2 weeks, or he won't be in until next week or whatever it was. So Stacey did, Timo lied to Tia, but Stacey did lean into that and go along with the lie. Now, Stacey told Tia there was a history with these ladies. This is all by the pool. There's a history with these ladies, and that's when Timo nodded. He nodded his head in agreement, which is why Stacey said she was only letting Tia meet him because she's new to the group, right? And they pretty much have no history. Now, after Timo eventually walked off, Tia was already saying, she already got the vibe, or she already read his vibe right off the gate. She was like, ooh, she was like, Timo is not feeling us ladies or something like that. Or she was like, oh, Timo wants to have nothing to do with us. Like, she already kind of knew what it was, right? So that's why I kind of feel like I fought Stacy for some of the stuff that, like, for her not recalling how everything played out. And also not just saying that my husband don't want to be around y'all. But then also at the same time, it's like, Tia, you knew. You knew he didn't want to, even if he didn't have a flight to catch, you knew he didn't want to be around you because you said it out your mouth before Stacy did. Right? So that's when Stacy told her, she said, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. She said, he's not ready to meet the other ladies based on everything that happened. That's true. Right? I feel like Stacy brought, at first I was like, why would you bring Tia around? Why? Is it because she's prim and proper to impress upon your husband? These are the type of ladies that I hang with. Is that what you were doing? And I feel like part of that is true, but also to show him that the girls aren't as bad, because he was still upset about what happened at the reunion, because he nodded his head about it. Because obviously, Stacy, you went home to your man and you was talking SHI. You felt the way about how they made you feel at the reunion. And yeah, primarily Eddie and Wendy, because Eddie was on the FaceTime call with TJ. He gave the information to Wendy. Wendy exposed it as well as Eddie. So, of course, her husband felt the way about that, or ex, whatever he is. They felt the way about that, right? My issue with Stacy, though, is now that you've gotten a better relationship with Wendy, the least you could do is make sure your husband is aware about that. And I think that's where it doesn't look good. You're trying to be close to Wendy, be up under Wendy, but you don't want to be honest with Wendy and tell her that your husband don't really like her like that after what happened. Like, why are you not letting her know that? Like, what's hard with telling her that? She'll tell you if Eddie is upset with something. So why you just won't tell her that? And why won't you tell him we're in a better place now? I want you to meet her. But you know what? Timo gives me, for the people that watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Timo gives me Todd of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Bronwyn's husband, how he wants to have nothing to do with Lisa Barlow and definitely nothing to do with the rest of the ladies. That's what Timo gives me. That's how he feels about Wendy. Wendy is the Lisa Barlow in his eyes and the rest of the ladies. And then I have to go back and I have to ask, Timo, why would you be so upset to know that TJ is telling people that Stacy paid him? I would think you're more upset with TJ versus anybody else. Or was that, was it a scheme that y'all both set up to come to us? Like, I don't know. I just don't think it's something he should be that upset about. I can't tell him what to be mad about, right? But I just feel like it's not like, is it that big of, like, you really that mad? That she probably did pay somebody else to come on the show because you weren't trying to be on the show, and you really ain't even trying to be on the damn show now, for real. And you using the situation with Wendy and Eddie as the excuse as to why you're not trying to meet the other ladies. But also, Tia, what you did not clock at the table with Wendy when y'all did have that sit down, right? You did not tell Wendy, because you wanted to make sure Wendy knew that Stacy felt more safer with you, okay? You wanted to make sure Wendy knew that. And that is what you said, Stacy, and that's what you got to acknowledge that. You got to acknowledge that, and you're not keeping it a buck with Wendy about how your husband feels about her and how you don't feel safe because of what happened. And it also makes me question a little bit of the dynamic with you and Timo. And with the dynamic of you and Timo, it makes me question, are you not bringing Wendy and the other ladies around because they may see through some BS or something like that? I don't know. Something, it just doesn't make sense. But Tia, what you also did not, it was something else that was said at the, when they were out there. Oh, yes. Tia, what you did not also acknowledge to Wendy, at least we didn't see it, was that y'all can stop asking her to bring her man to different events, because she said until Giselle brings hers, she won't be bringing her man. Okay? So there's that. However, yeah, that's that. Let's keep going. Let's get back to present day scene, okay? So Stacy says if she declined the dinner, then she just declined, which is true. Like whether my man had to go out of town today, tomorrow, I lied. Girl, like I ain't coming. That's the short answer. So whatever it is what it is, and think what the hell you want to think about it. Now the issue with she goes on to say my issue or my comfort level issue with Eddie and Wendy is none of your business. First of all, Stacy, baby, you told her the business. How you gonna tell that lady it's none of her business, but you the one that told it to her? That's what you said. Okay. Anywho, Stacy says her attempt to get in the group, with her attempt to get in the group, she likes to overstep talking about Tia. So Tia tries to tell her why she's upset with her, and Tia already heard. She said, "I already heard things about you. I gave you the benefit of the doubt, and how I wanted." She said, "I wanted to have your back or whatever." Matter of fact, you hit me up and told me that I should have your back. That's when Stacy cuts her off and then says, "I didn't tell you that." And Tia was like, "If you could just stop trying to hijack this conversation and shut up, then I could keep going because I wasn't talking when you were talking." And Stacy's like, "Oh, you don't get to tell me to shut up." Stacy says Tia likes to play prim and proper. Tia said, "Baby, I don't have to play." I said, "Okay. Okay, I don't have to play Detroit like you." All right. Stacy tells her she's a trying hard to fit in the group. That was a good one. And then Tia hit her back with that fire and says, "You've been here for a year and still not fitting in." Woo, girl, that was a kiki to me. So here go Jazzy, y'all. Jazzy tells Tia she can't be swearing at her event. That's not Juneteenth. That's not Juneteenth vibes. Jazzy, sit back and hush your mouth. Sit back and hush. Because where were you at? Where was your voice when the whitest woman on the cast, the DEI hire, Ashley Darby, came out there and told that lady, okay, to not be a lying asshole? Girl, that's two cuss words. She was swearing twice. Okay, because I think that when Tia said this to Stacy, she said, "You been here for a year and still not fucking fitting in," or something like that. So Jassy, be quiet. All right. So Stacy says Tia is a try hard, just like her fashions. Get your ass up and get up. Whoa. Not get your ass up and get out. I'm on the floor. Okay. Um Too funny. So Tia leaves and says that she won't be buying anything. She walks out. I think she said Stacy was trash, so she not buying nothing. And I'm sorry, Stacy, I couldn't respect it. I couldn't respect it. First of all, a few things. You was trying to impress your homeboy that told you that you need to really let the girls have it. The problem is you let the wrong girl have it, right? You let Ashley stand there in your face in front of customers and call you a line as BIT, but all Tia did was tell you to shut up and she had to go. Baby, that was given a slight bit of deflection and very performative. Yeah, I didn't like that. I ain't like that. I ain't like that. I was like, nah, that's just not cool. Like, what? Why you ain't kick Ashley out? Ashley was the most deserving. Ashley has been on your head from episode 1, and you still let her stay, but you kicked Tia out. So during the after show, Tia pretty much said, because it wasn't a whole lot with the after show, but Tia pretty much said that she felt like Stacy was waiting for that moment to do just that, right? She says that Stacy had called her. This is what Tia saying. Stacy called her to apologize to her for whatever it was, and then invited her out to her event. The lady went, and then you showed out, and then you kicked her out. Yeah, that's crazy. That's not nice. That's not. I mean, it's very much so Giselle esque. Very much so Giselle esque. Very much so Kenya Moore esque. Okay. Very much so reality TV. But child, it would have been an even better scene if you would have kicked Ashley Darby's ass to the curb for real. Okay. But child, there's that. That's pretty much how the episode ended. Stacey trying to show out in front of her friend. And it's like, Stacey, you ain't have to show out in front. At least that's how I felt. I'm like, Stacey, you ain't have to show out in front of that man. Okay? Because you was already handling them ladies at Giselle's event. You know? But it doesn't look good, ma'am. Like, you know that you got some stuff. You know that your husband feels away. I just don't think it's an issue for you to tell Wendy that. Like, why? I'm just so confused by that. Like, you're gonna have to explain that to the reunion. Does it make us, or let me speak for myself, does it make me dislike you? No. No, not in this moment. It doesn't. I still like you. But some of the stuff does not make sense. Are you as bad of a person as Ashley, Giselle, and Kiana has tried to make you out to be? No, not at all. Especially with Giselle and Ashley because they got their SHI too. So, yeah, it's crazy. I see Stacey for the try hard she really is. Stacey be like, but I hope they continue to refuse to film with her. You hope they continue to refuse with Stacey? We'll see, because I think Wendy will continue to film with her. But you know what? I also want to say this too. I feel like, who we got on the show? We have, let me put this girl. Like, who all on this show, child? Hold on. Okay. Let's see who all on the show. So we have Tia. My bad. We have Tia, we have Kiana, we have Ashley, we have Giselle, we have Wendy, and we have Stacey and Angel. Now we also have Monique Samuels, and we also have Karen Huger. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Somebody gotta go. I don't know who, but somebody gonna have to go. Who y'all think need to be the one to go? Hmm. Somebody or bodies have to, in my opinion, I feel like that's a lot of ladies. 2, 4, 6, 7 already on the show with two friends of. I mean, maybe they could bring everybody back, but then bringing Karen back too. Y'all think Karen gonna try to renegotiate her contract to get more money after all of this that just happened? You know, she might be a hot commodity. You know, getting out of prison, people want to see how she navigates that with the group. A lot of the fans, she's a fan favorite. You know, so I feel like if Karen comes back, somebody may have to fall off. I feel like because so many people are liking Stacey and the energy she's giving, I don't see Stacey leaving. And was Stacey Karen's friend that she brought on the show? Right? Was that Karen's friend? I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know. The question is Monique gonna move up to a housewife, or is she gonna stay as a friend of? She might like the friend of role where she don't have to give up a lot of her life or what's happening in her life, and she could just still make decent money, kind of like Cynthia Bailey, make decent money but not have to be so obligated at the same time. She might be okay with staying friend of. Are they gonna try and punish Karen and keep her as a friend of, or what? Or are they gonna swap somebody out? I kind of can see Angel not coming back. I could see Angel. I could see them keeping the cast, keeping Monique as friend of, and sending Angel on her way and moving Karen back into the Karen spot. Mm-mm. But those are my thoughts. Leave yours down below. Okay. Next up, I want us to get into Married to Medicine. Okay. Let me get that up on the screen for the people. Make sure if you have yet to do so, you're coming into the video, you're liking up the video and things, and we are going to get into this review. Give me 1 second. All right, y'all. Let us get into Married to Medicine, okay? Can we talk about, well, we don't have to talk about it, but I just want to say that the intro is whack. Oops. Don't like that intro. Dr. Jackie, Toya, Quad. I don't even think it goes. I think it's like Dr. Jackie, Quad, Toya, Dr. Simone, Dr. Mimi, Dr. Contessa. It was like real weird. And I'm like, are you giving the order in which people are paid the most? Like, is it Dr. Jackie, then it's Quad, then it's Dr. Simone, and then it's the rest of them ladies, Dr. Contessa and whoever else? And then the sound, the audio of the intro seems like they AI the old version or something. I'm just like, what is this? Just keep it. Who is doing this stuff? Just keep it, baby. Keep it. Damn. I'll feel away as a doctor. And you gonna call, I don't care anybody be in the show. Okay? You gonna put Quad name before mine. You gonna put Toya name before mine. And they ain't earned that damn degree. I've been married to the medicine for a long time, hon. Put some respect on it. It need to go Dr. Jackie, Dr. Simone, okay? Dr. Mimi, Brandy, okay? That's how it need to go. Toya, Quad. But, and it's no disrespect to Toya and Quad. But, I mean, Brandy do got her nurse. She a nurse practitioner. But all in all, it is what it is, okay? Because Quad probably would have felt the way like, wait a minute, bitch, I've been here longer than you. I mean, really, Quad could have been at the very end, right? Because I feel like most of the time the stars of the show saved at the end of the little intro anyway. So, I mean, whatever, girl. Do what y'all want to do. Y'all gonna do that anyway. We gonna watch. So, Toya and Eugene. So, Eugene got to the house, okay? Eugene is ready to get it in. All right. So I think, he's driving a lot of hours away. And I really think that his anxiousness to get in the bedroom isn't because of the driving. I think Toya tried to say something like that. It's because he done lost all that damn weight. Okay? And that man got some energy now. Okay? That's what's really going on. So Toya tells Eugene about Heavenly not showing up to the party. They discuss Heavenly and her running for a public office. And Toya says, how can we talk about Heavenly running for office when she messy as fuck? Like, how can we talk about that and not talk about how messy her is, okay? The flashbacks that they played of Dr. Heavenly was hilarious. Especially knowing that she's running for somebody's office. Baby, your opponent, if you have to do a debate, they're going to take that same clip. And they're going to play it. And they're going to let it play. And then they're going to go get a reel from your YouTube. And they're going to let it play. And then they're going to say, is this someone that you all would have represent you in your district? Child. Now, the hooligans like me may be like, yes. Okay? Yeah, actually. And so Toya gonna ask Eugene who's voting for her. And so Eugene said, hopefully a lot of y'all cannot pay me to dislike Eugene. Do you hear me? Eugene says, hopefully a lot of people. I don't know. And when I tell you, we see each other. Because again, Heavenly cannot hold a public office from my understanding and be on this show. Eugene is looking at it from the standpoint of, hell, shit, maybe she'll get the hell on and everybody go down there and vote for it, okay? Period. Then he says, based on this political climate, right? He says Heavenly has a shot. She absolutely does. She absolutely does. And honestly, the shot Slick was had before the foolishness in the office. When Arnold Schwarzenegger won that role down there in California? I said, oh, damn. Anybody? Now, granted, this may have happened before, but he's the last person that I could recall prior to. Okay? So I'm like, hey, her being a reality star may actually enhance her getting this damn role. So she gonna ask him if he gonna help her campaign. And he's like, hell no. Get somebody else to do it. Okay? Somebody else can help her out, but I do hope a lot of people go down there and vote for her. Eugene is hilarious. So Heavenly and Damon are talking, and Heavenly talks about her campaign, and she says that with her running, it affects everybody, her kids, her husband, her, everybody, because she knows how she's shown up on social media and on television, and it could pop out. But even aside from that, politics can get really nasty. It can get really nasty. So if there's anything that they can comb up or whatever, they gon' do it. And that's what she's letting the people know. So she brings up the incident that happened with her son. She says that he can't keep anything from her and says that he doesn't tell her anything. You can't keep this from me, Daddy. I mean, Daddy, you don't tell me anything. I said, so now he don't tell you anything, Heavenly? Heavenlyana. Now he don't tell you anything? The way you act like he's so upright, standing, tell you everything, this, that, and the other. Damon would never whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Now he don't tell you anything. I see what you're doing there. I personally feel like you're trying to disassociate yourself or disconnect yourself a slight bit from the matter at hand, acting like, oh my God, I was so surprised. Woe is me. I didn't know anything about this. It's possible that she didn't. Possible that she really didn't know. Right? But I guess. So she says if she had to learn about her son via social media, then what else is out there? Heavenly, don't question it now, baby. You weren't trying to question it before. Even if people wanted to give you the receipts. I guess, child. So she says her heart dropped when she learned about him being arrested. I could understand, okay? I can understand your heart dropping, being scared. Luckily for you, it has already passed, right? But I'm sure it's still that fear for her of what happens next, because he's literally had a case looming over his head for like 2 years, right? Damon says it's not like it was months and years ago. And so she says, but it was months ago, baby. It happened in 2022. I feel like, Heavenly, if you don't win this, y'all gonna be talked about for a minute. Because the people gonna lean into the fact that he ain't tell you. And they gonna lean into, if you ain't tell me that, what else are you not telling me? They gonna lean into that. It may not be nothing to find, but they gonna try and lean into that. But Damon goes on to say that he told her before. No, but I told you before that. She's like, no. Stick to the script. No, that's not what we talked about. Remember? No, you didn't say when you did that, Daddy. Daddy, we didn't talk about that, Daddy. Don't do that. Stick to the script. So Damon says he knew that it was something that he could take care of. She says, well, no, Daddy. It couldn't have been something that you would take care of because it got out on social media and I learned about it, Daddy. Okay, I still found out about it years later. I shouldn't. If you would have took care of it, it would have been nothing to be found. You know that, right, Daddy? You can't do that, Daddy. You can't do that. So she says her son isn't coming around. She asked, is it something that I did, Daddy? Daddy, did I do something? Heavenly, stop. Like, I couldn't. Hey, man, use your real voice, okay? Not your office inside voice. Use your real voice, girl. Use that voice. Well, don't use the voice you was using when you cussed your son the hell out. But you be talking to Damon like he has not been with you all your damn life and has seen you in every phase that you about can see a person. Okay? And you still over here, Daddy, I don't know, Daddy. I'm just, why can you tell him to come home and see his mama, Daddy? Was it something that I did? Damon over there like, now you know motherfucking well is what you did. I don't even know why. You know what, buddy? Like, he be sick. Like, he be sick. He like, listen, whatever he decided to do, I respect it, okay? So she asked if it was something that she did, okay? She cussed him out, went off, and honestly, I know she went off on him. And my personal, not so much as for him withholding the information, but embarrassing her. She went off on him because she knew how social media was going to eat her up. And he, in her eyes, gave the people something for them to drag her ass about. Right? So she says, why doesn't he come see us? And Damon looking like, I don't know about shit. He see me. Damon like, he see me. I mean, I don't know about what's going on with y'all, but I mean, like, shit, he see me. May not come to the house, but I see him when we go. I go over there. I'm at the office, and he come over there. Like, I see him. I mean, he just ain't fucking with you right now. So Heavenly, right? I feel like there's been a lot of conversation about whether Toya should be speaking on Heavenly's situation. I feel like now I'm at a place where, yes, Toya should be able to bring this up in the group, okay? Because you have said and you've done so much. And in my opinion, if dead mothers are not off limits, then neither is your grown adult ass son. It's really like that, okay? It's really like that. It's just what it is. Now, Heavenly asked Damon if he can make their son come home and see his mama. He like, nah. Only God could do that. But I tell you one thing, I'm going to respect his decision. And when he returns home, I'm going to be ready to hug him. I'm going to support him. Period. And honestly, I know Damon really want to say, well, you the one that ran him off, so you go and try and get him to come home. But I think to me also, because Damon also know he's talked to him, I kind of feel like he right. Like, he'll come home in enough time, God willing. We shall see. Okay? Or he'll reach out and talk to you at some point, right? So Contessa and Scott, they trying to get things figured out when it comes to the numbers and just the building as a whole being completed. Girl, I would be sick spending millions of dollars on a building and it's just taking forever. Like, I just feel like at some point I'm gonna have to DIY some shit. At some point I'm gonna have to pull up YouTube and figure out how to do some drywall, install. I don't know. Why I feel like y'all tried to go with a cheaper company. And I get that because y'all done already maxed out all these accounts and stuff, so you want cheaper labor. But then also, if it's cheaper, then how many workers do they got? I would need somebody that's going to be committed to completing my project by the contracted time. If it's not done by the contracted time, we can't do it. I got to go somewhere else, and I don't feel like I should have to pay you all this money if you ain't completing the process. I got to use some of that coin to go get somebody else that's going to get it done. Okay? Now, it ain't no shade. This is no disrespect. I love all my people. But had you went over there and got you some Hispanics or something, that shit probably would have been done the next day. I'm just not even going to hold you. They would have pulled everybody in that bitch, okay? But, you know, they can't take these type of risks at this time because people have been and got snatched up. Okay? Oh, boy, listen. Them essays would have got your ass right. And that's what I think. That's what I think. That's what I think. I think they would have had enough people in each room getting stuff together. But I wish y'all the best, okay? Good luck with that. Toya and Simone. They go see Brandy for her to, I guess, give Simone some micro needling. And we didn't see that, right? Why, first of all, why is Simone up there filling up on Toya titties to tell her to compliment her on the dress that she had on? I holler. I'm like, girl, scoop it. Okay. Anywho, the ladies go to discuss, I guess they go to the back room. I think they're about to discuss something with the event or something. I think Toya said she had a dream that quad and her boo came to her neighborhood looking for a house. And Brandy was like, oh, well, you know, when you have dreams like that, then girl, you know, that comes true. But Toya has not let Todd know yet. She was like, And I'm like, why not? Why would you not tell Quad that? She would love to hear that. Why would you not tell her that? Do you not believe in her and King anymore? Because you seem to be so pro King, but are you feeling differently about him? Like, why would you? Or you know what? Maybe she don't want Toya in her. I mean, she don't want Quiet in her neighborhood. Maybe that's what it is. She probably like, okay, we just got good, but I don't need you that close to me, girl. Not right now. So it could be that. Toya gets a call from her housekeeper. And unfortunately, Toya's dog has drowned in the pool. It seems like Toya left the dog outside. Usually the dog would bark for the housekeeper to let him in. And unfortunately, I think it's a he, not sure, forgive me if it's a her, but the dog would bark for the housekeeper to let it in. And unfortunately, the dog was found in the pool. Okay, floating. So the dog had drowned. Really, really sad. And I'm like, dang, y'all need to have, and I don't know if they have this or not. I know they have pool covers that some people really put over their pools, like during the wintertime, the fall season. But I'm like, they ain't got no pool nets, like a little netting thing you could put over the pool. Like, I ain't trying to cover it with that heavy cover, but I at least want a net. So if anybody's out here roaming, if it's a bird or something like that, it don't fall into the water. And, it could be anything. Like, do they have some type of pool net that the people could get? But, Toya was emotional about it. Then, of course, she got to crack a joke, asking for some tequila, honey. And that was pretty much that. She ended up having a dog funeral at a chapel. And Eugene he thought that it was kind of weird to do a funeral, but I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, I mean, Kenya did one like years ago. So I'm surprised he don't know anything about that. Anywho, or not that he doesn't know about it. He just thinks that is weird. So Toya was like, is a Birkin party weird? Have you ever been to a Birkin party before? I said, I know that's right. We do what we want over here, baby. Period. Thank you for the super chat, Brandon. You on one today? What's in that cup? Nothing. Listen, let me tell you what's in my cup. I got me some of that sparkling water, and then I had put me some strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries in my cup. That's it. Just some sparkling water. Thank you, CJ. It's a girl. Okay, thank you so much. So, yeah, the girl dog passed away. Yeah, but I don't think anything was wrong with that. But what was taking me out was the funeral music. Like, okay, it's like, okay, calm down. Okay? Calm down, just a little piece with the funeral music. I said, okay, y'all really got these folks coming in doing a procession like they coming into an actual human funeral. But you know, it is what it is. A loss is a loss for a lot of people, so I get it. I really felt bad for Toya. Heavenly brought her dog. Heavenly brought her dog to show support. She brought that dog to show that support in hopes that Toya ain't gonna get on that ass about this son this season. That's why she brought that dog. Okay, but let's keep going. So Eugene thought it was not basically, like I said, he wasn't that in support of the funeral, it seemed, but the way he was giving his speech sounded like he was finna cry. Did anybody else get that? His eyes looked a little misty. So you didn't think that it was important, but as you were standing up there, you could tell as he started to reflect on the memories of that dog and having that dog as long as y'all did, like, that's gonna hit you some kind of way. Like, that's just what it is. It's gonna hit you some kind of way. But it ended up being a really cute event. When I saw Toya cry and her talking about her dog and how her dog did something that day and the dog was waiting for her to yell at her and she never, yelled at her or anything. And she was glad she didn't because she felt like she didn't want that to be the last moments that the dog remembered her from. And honestly, I know it's a dog, but I started to think about Heavenly and her son. And I don't know why I thought they probably were going to go to a green screen or something of Heavenly, like reflected on how she handled her son and cussed him out because he actually embarrassed her out here in these streets. But honestly, that's what I thought about. I thought about Heavenly and that son, and if that probably crossed her mind in hopes of probably getting their relationship back on track or whatever, right? But I can say this too. I don't fully fault Heavenly for what her son got going on. Like, I mean, he a grown ass man. That's on him. I don't really feel like that's on her. But anyway, so Jackie says no matter what's going on with Toya, they will show up because they are the ride or die type of group. And that's what when Jackie says this, I said, you know what? That's why this show is better than a lot of other shows on Bravo. And I personally feel like, not only because like when she has a problem, we're all going to show up. It's more so the fact that there is still a bit of friendship there. That's one thing. Versus just coworkers on the other shows, right? In addition, it's more of the older cast people versus just 2 or 3 older folks on the show, right? So we've been able to grow with these people as they've grown. And I think that is where Bravo went wrong in my personal with Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't know when we got into this rotating factor so much. And maybe it was because some of us fans were upset and was like, oh, we need to change. We need to change these people out. Let's switch some of these folks. I'm tired of seeing these things. And really, it may have just been the storylines. Maybe it was just, it could have been the storylines, possibly. They may have found their people with this new cast, maybe. So we'll see how they'll continue to do and grow. But yeah, I don't know. I think, of course, they lost Nene. I mean, they kind of did good after a while, but I think Portia ended up leaving the show. Cynthia ended up dropping down. They brought in Marlo. They brought in Sanya. Like, I don't know. I don't know. They probably should have just gave Nene that little piece of raise that she wanted and kept it going. Right? That's probably what they should have did. You know, instead of trying to punish and penalize people and all of that other stuff. When I personally feel like, I don't know, like y'all be mad that folks don't give y'all, like I'm thinking about Kenya at this moment. I'm going off on a tangent. Y'all were upset with Kenya more because she went off somewhere and she got married. And I understand that. So y'all demoted her. But people can fight on y'all shows and y'all still bring them back. Like, how you more upset that a person kind of withheld a little bit of their storyline, but you still can cover it because y'all reenact shit all the time? But people throw blows on your show, and I'm talking about a variety of them, and y'all still keep them on the show. Like, huh? And you kept a lot of the ladies from Real Housewives of New Jersey for a long time. Like, should have just gave Nene a little piece of what she wanted. You should have just said, here, we can't do this, but let us give you an extra this right here. And then whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop de whoop. Like, y'all could have finessed that. Y'all, because I guarantee you it's been costing y'all more hiring all these other folks trying to go around and act like you don't need her. And maybe you didn't, but I feel like the moves that y'all made after did not reflect that wholeheartedly. So y'all need to get that to go. But anyway, thank you for the super chat. Jamie, you're in my top 5 watch YouTubers for my yearly recap. Thank you so much, Eni. I appreciate it. Did I say that right? Thank you. I appreciate that. Shout out to everybody that's been DMing me and, you know, sharing your tops of your recaps, okay, and adding me on Twitter and everything. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for supporting and watching the channel. Thank y'all for coming to listen to little old me. Thank you. Let's keep going. Yeah. So I was talking about that. But anywho, that's one thing that I like about Married to Medicine. A great bit of the cast is still around. All right. So let's get to Toya and Contessa, because Contessa really needs Eugene to book this location. Once they get stuff finished, I don't know if Eugene gonna book it. We shall see. She talking about it's gonna be ready in 2 weeks. I don't see it. I'm afraid for Contessa that they probably gonna go, if not the whole season, most of the whole season without that space being completed. But what I do hope is that they finally get it together to at least do like maybe the final episode at their grand opening or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like do a little shebang or something there, but we'll see. Let's see, Jackie. So Jackie decided to have a dancing class called Dancing Around the Truth. That's kind of cute. Okay, Jackie. You don't always get stuff right, but I'm with that. So Quad came looking sexy, okay? And I was like, I'm slick with Quad. I'm with Quad. Come in giving sexy. But then I'm more of a conservative type. You know what I'm saying? So I probably would have came in on some Toya or Angel. And Angel was giving. Angel looked the best. Like, to me, the best outfit went to Angel. Okay? She was in that. She was looking right. I said, go ahead, mama. Go ahead. She ate that fit up. Dr. Mimi. She's the one that has experience in dancing and heels. She used to be a dancer, I believe, in college. Contessa goes out there to dance. She didn't hit a split. Jackie went out there looking a fool-ass mess. I'm glad she knew it. Okay, what she call herself? The 10 man or something? Girl, I'm glad you knew what you was. Angel gave 10s, okay, doing that Sierra chair dance. Go ahead. Now, after the ladies went and did that thing, their dance thing, Jackie has some questions for the ladies, all right? The first one, I snoop through my husband's phone when he's in the shower. Toya admits that she looked through her man's phone whenever the hell she wants to. Period. Okay? Good for you. All right. But she says she does it because I guess one of her dad used to be a cheater. I don't think Eugene is doing that, but then at the same time, you never know. So if she want to go through his phone, he allow it. Do what y'all gonna do. Jackie says Simone would not have gone to Quad's party regardless of when the invite was sent. Simone says, baby, that's not true. Okay? Okay, that's not true. But when you invite me on the day of, then that makes me feel like you really don't want me there. Understand? So Quad says, well, I did invite you and I made light of the situation and that was it. And it's like, Quad, what we can't do is try to overlook the shade in that because there was shade in that. And Toya wasn't wrong. When Toya says that wasn't a real invite, it was a shade. And Quad says because she shaded me. Gotcha. Okay? But to invite that lady, you could have sent her that same invite when you gave it to everybody else and then told her the same thing you told her, which was, and while you at it, make sure you bring your money with you so you can help me take care of this house. So you could have did that. I mean, and you know what? Honestly, Simone probably still would have felt the same damn way. Like, I ain't even finna go. They probably would have started the argument right there. So we probably still would be right back where we at. So Quad says, no. Simone starts yelling. I didn't like this edit here because something was off with the editing because it just now granted, I do think Quad maintained her calmness this entire time. But what led up to Simone just starting to yell? Right? What was said for her to just yell like that, right? And then she started pointing her finger in Quad's face. And Quad is being very calm. And she's like, get your finger out my face. Like, stop pointing your finger in my face. I'm like, Quad's not wrong. She's not wrong to tell you that. And I also feel like as much as I like Simone, why are you yelling? Like, why does the end result always have to be you yelling? I just feel like y'all are too grown to not be in control of your emotions, Miss Simone. Doctor, like, why are you yelling? And I would have really took offense because I'm not your child. Because what you're not gonna do is sit up here and yell at me, but you don't yell at them fucking boys that ain't cleaning up and you gotta run up a damn tab because you going over there cleaning their house up and you deducting shit. You need to yell at your sons. Because the shit you doing ain't making me move. I'm sorry. It's not. So I don't think I've ever seen Simone yell at her sons. I'm not saying kids should be yelled at, but bitch, sometimes they do. Yell at dad. Okay? Clean this shit up. Okay? If you spending all this damn money, bought their ass a house and this, that, and the other, and they can't watch no damn dish, yell at dad. Get dad. You coming over there clean this shit up for? Do I look like your maid? Okay? Can't even afford a maid up in here, can you? Get the hoop in that damn hollering. But don't yell at me. I don't know how to communicate like that. When you hollering and I can't communicate like that. Like, if I'm here with it, talk to me. Because this energy is showing you that I'm open to hearing what you have to say. I'm open to hearing you. Just talk. You ain't got to do that yelling. If you don't know any other way to get your point across, I don't want to talk right now. Like, I just wouldn't. So Simone is basically saying, ultimately, what she ended up saying is, I'm giving... Yeah, so she basically saying that Quad... Hold on. No, Quad tells Simone she has tried with her, like, what is the problem? That's what Quad says. She's like, what? I've tried with you. Like, what is the problem? She starts crying. Simone says that you shut me out. Now, I pretty much had already told y'all Simone missed her. Okay? That's really what it was, a lot of that energy. Simone cries and says that you were shutting me out. When you shut out the group, you shut me out too. Simone thought in my head, based on her saying this, she thought that she meant more to Quad than a lot of these other ladies because they were once upon a time closer. I think Quad used to be her doctor or whatever. They had certain talks that maybe she didn't have with other folks or whatever the case is, right? So I think she thought she meant a little bit more to Quad after her and Mariah fell out than the other ladies. So when that fallout happened, the marriage breakup, whatever happened, Quad kind of started to push all of them to the side, really. Right? And so Simone kind of felt like pushed out. and she just held on to that for whatever reason. Like you, and y'all just kept like, why, right? Mm. I do feel like they both do this tit for tat type of thing. Whether we see everything that they do or not, I think they both do a tit for tat type of thing with each other. I know some people feel like Quad has not done anything to Simone, and I think she hasn't, based on what we've seen on the show. But there may have been some other things. I don't know, but I'm willing to believe that they do a tit for tat with each other. Simone says that she often functions out of hurt and anger because she shut her out, and she don't feel like she deserves to be shut out. And sometimes I feel like, in my personal, sometimes I don't know. Y'all let me know. What I'm thinking is, because I don't know what all that looked like to like really shut you out. But sometimes stuff ain't even about you. Sometimes people just be needing space. Maybe they got their own stuff. Maybe they depressed or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? And if a person feels like this ain't a safe space, they not gonna always share. You know? Sometimes it's not about you. And then y'all just went tit for tat, and yeah. So eventually they do cry and they hug it out, and they hope to leave it right there. And I hope that they leave it right there too. I hope that they are able to move forward similar to how Toya and Quad have been able to move forward. And when Toya interrupted them, like, y'all done, because we trying to move on, everybody bust out laughing. I really liked that moment. I liked how Toya made light of that moment, and Quad just looked back, leaned on her, and bust out laughing. I just thought that little scene to me was so cute, because it was like you could tell they all kind of missed her, especially Simone. Like they kind of like missed what that group was. You know what I'm saying? With everybody being close or whatnot. So I don't know. It was something about that I really like. So Heavenly speaks on her campaign and people having questions, and she aims it at Toya. And Toya says, well, when I found out about a girl, I was shocked. Okay, I was shocked to hear that you was running for anything, because you can't even maintain your own friendships in your friend group. Child. Heavenly says, do you know what a state representative does? Toya said, and I'm going to go back to your first question. She said, I absolutely thought it was a joke. And I don't give a fuck what they do, because the state representative wouldn't be you. Baby, when I say Toya was on Heavenly, wearing her out, I love it. I love it. I love it. It was too funny. Heavenly then says, no, Toya says, I'm the people, BIT, and I ain't vote for you. Heavenly says, she gets up. Heavenly get up. And she said, Toya, then you leave my kids out my mouth, out your mouth. Hollered, baby. When I tell y'all Toya had Heavenly shook a little bit, either that or Heavenly was fighting between showing her ass on set or getting these votes. Heavenly was like, do you know what a state representative do? She said, I don't know, and I don't give a fuck. Okay, well, I don't think she said I don't know, but she was like, I don't give a fuck, but it ain't you. Okay, how about them apples? It's not you, ma'am. Okay, bitch, I ain't voting for you. I'm hollering, baby. Toya had me too tickled. Heavenly didn't know what. Keep my kid's name out your mouth. I'm hollering. Toya said, you know what? I'm glad you brought it up, because I wasn't talking about your kids. Right? I ain't saying that about you. I ain't bring your kids up. I'm glad you did. Toya says, for the last few years, all you did was talk about me and mine. So guess what? Enjoy what it feels like. Bloop. I'm with Toya. I stand by Toya's side. Okay? And to be clear, Toya, in my opinion, although a lot of people are like, Heavenly's never talked about Toya's kids. She can't. They ain't even 16. They kids, for real. Right? Heavenly sons aren't. Right? They more so closer to about, or this one, let's speak on this one in particular. Right? Because the others haven't done anything, and their daughter, they seem to be doing really good. The son, he's closer to 30. Okay, so Toya not wrong, but let's be very clear here. Toya is no way near dogging Heavenly about her child's decision, or I'm not going to say child, her son's decision, like Heavenly has dogged her out for multiple seasons about her finances, her homes, anything, her husband, whatever it was, right? When Heavenly's kids were underage, Toya ain't saying that about them kids, and Heavenly didn't say that about her kids either. But now, he grown. And again, Toya, all she did when she went to that event, she was just asking, why was Heavenly not at the event? Is she trying to avoid having this conversation about her son? That's it. She ain't dogged the boy out. She ain't add no spice to it like Giselle would. She ain't do none of that. Right? So I do believe, in my opinion, if you are likely offended that she's discussing that, it's probably because you don't like Toya. And you're heavily team Heavenly. And that's fine. Because you have a right to choose and support whoever you want to support and stand by who you want to stand by. As for me, I'm going to rock with Toya on this. Okay? So Heavenly said the same thing about Toya that Simone said. I want to highlight this, okay? Heavenly said the same thing about Toya that Simone said about Quad, right? Heavenly said, I got a lot of tea on Toya, and she don't want me to drop them. Because if I drop it, I'm going to drop a doozy, right? That's what she said. Not too different than what Simone said about Quad. Quad, keep rocking with me. Keep playing with me. No different than Heavenly. Both people are saying, keep playing with me, right? I got information on you that I can drop. I just asked that y'all do Heavenly like y'all was just doing Simone when Simone said about Quad, because a lot of y'all in the comments was mad. Not my comments. I just saw them around. You know what I'm saying? The people was feeling away. Okay? Well, y'all probably not going to do that with Heavenly though, huh? Okay, it's fine. Do what you want to do, girl. So the guys link up. And Shamar is a cutie. Brandy's husband, Shamar, is a cutie. Brandy is beautiful. They make a really cute couple. I hope that he is a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? I hope that they complement each other, personality-wise and all of that as we get to know both of them together as a couple. I do believe they have 4 children together, so shout out to them. I'm not sure exactly what he does. I think they said it like maybe last episode, not sure. But of course, she owns her own nurse practitioner. I'm sorry, she's a nurse practitioner. She owns her own, like, I would say like a med spa. I'm going to say a medical center, something, Anywho. So Shamar asked the guys for advice, right? And Eugene pretty much says the wives keep it too real. And it's a lot of alpha wives out here. He says you have to tell your wife that you support her and I'm with you and I'm on whatever you want type thing. And King says, but what if she wrong? Okay? What if she wrong? And Eugene says, then stay on her side. King said, then stay on her side. Okay? I am hollering. And I'm like, King, Eugene said stay on her side. I'm like, King, first of all, baby, why are you asking this question? You must be asking this question on behalf of Curtis. Because based on how everything went down last year, when they was on that trip, Quad wasn't all the way in the right. And you knew to do what? For the most part, stay on her side. So I don't even know why you asked this question, but I think he asked it for other people, right? Or to get his response because he's asking for Curtis. So that's when, Eugene said, well, when they're having a conversation, if you see a small piece where you could probably point out something, then do that, but then back up. Basically, it's the best decision for you to not be in opposition with your wife. Okay? Because you don't want to bring that home and then y'all beefing. Right? So that's pretty much what he was trying to say. So Curtis brings up Toya speaking on him being touchy with the ladies and says Eugene can't stick by his wife when she's right or whether she's right or wrong. He said something like, oh, y'all heard what Eugene said. He's going to stick by Toya regardless of whether she's right or wrong, right? And Curtis says if his wife puts something out there like that's not true, then he's not going to sugarcoat it. And Eugene said, well, then I can't relate because my wife ain't putting that out there that wasn't true. Baby, if that one's standing on all 10 and it ain't changing over here, I like your style, Eugene. I ain't like your style. Eugene doesn't feel like Toya was wrong. I don't think Toya was wrong either. Curtis says, but you didn't say anything when she said it. Okay, well, if you ain't saying that, then obviously he agreed. So Mimi husband says we should hold our spouses accountable and hold them to a standard. I don't know Mimi's husband's name, but I'm going to call him LV. When it's Mimi's turn, I want to see if you going to hold her accountable. Because if Mimi don't have a turn, Mimi's turn going to be right back to where y'all started, which is off the show. Okay? Because she going to have to bring something. The only person that can sit on this platform and not bring nothing is Dr. Jackie. Understand? Okay? So when it's her turn to bring something, are you gonna do that? Hold her to a standard, hold her accountable? Okay. All right. Well, I will say ultimately, I don't feel like they're fully wrong, but I kind of feel like it depends on the situation, maybe. There's been plenty of times that I wanted Dr. Damon to check the out of Heavenly, right? And he really didn't do that last year when it came to Greg. He pretty much stood by his wife's side. But then also at the same time, I don't know, I guess it just depends. It depends on the situation. I feel like it depends on your wife. Wives don't want to be checked in front of other people. They want to show a united front, I feel. Also, sometimes if they feel like this person is against them or a group of people are against them and you tell them they were wrong, they're going to feel like now you're against me. Like if nobody sees where I'm coming from, I will hope that at least you could see where I'm coming from, right? So, So I do think that you should check them. I think it's about how you go about doing that though. And it don't really have to be like right there with the group, checking them, like calling like, babe, you were wrong. It could be like, let me talk to you for a second. You could pull your partner to the side, have that conversation, and then step off. And that's one thing that I feel like they don't really, well, do they? No, they probably do. I mean, Damon has tried to check Heavenly before. But what I was also getting at was it depends on the wives too, because Dr. Damon, Dr. Eugene, they got Heavenly and Toya as wives. You're not finna tell them a fucking thing. You hear me? You not finna tell them shit. They meant what they said when they said it. And it's likely not going to change at this time. So I feel like when King was like, what if she's wrong? Then I feel like you tried and see. You try what you think is the best reaction for you to try in front of folks. And that's going to let you know how you should respond to your partner. If you check her in front of people and she snap on you in that moment or later, then you're going to know how you should and should not operate with her as moving forward. So how about you try it and see? And we like, you got Quad. And I want to say you can't tell Quad nothing, but I feel like you can. I feel like you can have a conversation. But I don't know, because it depends on the situation. Because I feel like King tried to talk to Quad after everything happened with Dr. Greg. Quad wasn't really trying to hear him for real. He was annoyed because it's conversations that they had been having anyway for the longest. And nothing has changed. So I don't know. You could talk to your partner, ask how would they like to be addressed when stuff like that happens. I don't know. I feel like there's been times I feel like Toya has called Eugene out in front of people. So you would think that it's okay for him to call her ass out. However, Eugene don't operate like that. He gonna have his wife back. Because he know Toya gonna let his ass have it one way or the other. Either way. Let's see. All in all, I think, they were kind of going at it. Let me see. I think Curtis may have said something else to Eugene. He was just really upset, trying to get him to change and check his wife and all this and that. And he ended up changing the subject ultimately. I don't feel like Toya was wrong. I do feel like Dr. Jackie was wrong, not so much as Toya in the situation. Because Toya just highlighted the obvious that was out there. Those are just the truth. It's the facts. Like, it is what it is. Ain't nobody saying that you filling up on people's wives, but you are doing awkward things. You're sitting people's wives in your lap. Like, how do you even think that that is okay? How do you even think that makes sense? That you sit somebody else's wife in your lap? That doesn't even make sense. And then you standing next to somebody else's wife in a photo, but not your own wife, and then you got your hand on her hip. Like, it was just awkward. And not that you're gonna try anything with these ladies, but I mean, shit, they just highlighted that. Right? Eugene changes the subject to Heavenly. Heavenly is running for office and he's proud of her. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. Right? The episode really ended with Toya and Heavenly going back and forth with each other. So we'll see what's going to happen with them come next episode. Let's see. Exactly. Toya has gotten into it with Eugene before, but Eugene knows exactly how to handle Toya. And I just feel like that comes with experience. That comes with experience. So some part of me is just like, get to know your spouse. Mr. What's his name? King, get to know your lady. Get to know your lady. I think each situation is different for different people. And for the most part, I would think that the ladies aren't going to want nobody to try and confront them or say anything in front of other folks. But I mean, I don't know, get to know your partner. And while you're getting to know her, learn, make sure you know how to talk to her. Because tone is everything when it comes to correction. It don't matter who you talking to. Tone is everything. You don't understand Curtis being upset about it? I don't know. I guess it's making him think that other people are seeing him as a creep or something. I also love Toya and Eugene, their relationship, and I'm biased though, huh? And also, like Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damien, both couples make the show go round and checking, grow, uplift at home. But with these people and on this camera, I'm with my wife with that. Okay. Let me see. I'm just reading some of you guys' comments. The only thing Dr. Mimi brings, I saw somebody say she brings nothing. I think the only thing she brings is her body in the middle of people when they about to get into it. And honestly, that shit would annoy me. Okay, and not that she should get this, but that would be some shit that would make her get her hair pulled and her leg kicked like Tamar did to Trina. Okay, because why is you in the middle of folks and dancing, ma'am? I quite feel like that is antagonizing. Can you don't put your hands on me? Can you please scoot back just a little bit? Just a little back. Mind your business. That's just scoot back. But I understand her trying to prevent these grown ladies from throwing blows. Okay, I completely get that part, right? Let me see what this is. What is it? Oh, is this on TV? Oh, that was nice. So Todd done sat up here and added Candy, put a post up adding Candy on, I guess, a Broadway show that she did. He told her, great job, keep inspiring, doing your thing. And she commented and said, thank you. Nigga, shut the hell up talking to me. How about that? Until you retract that bullshit that you submitted in the courts, trying to throw out my prenup. Don't say shit. You don't say nothing to me, sir. Scoot back up off me. Okay? Because you full of shit. That's what's going on. So some keep inspiring. Boy, play with me like that, Todd. Talking about some damn thank you. But you know, they got to keep a united front. I'm not mad at it. They have children together. You know, I mean, at any moment, both of them could recognize, hey, we don't want to do this. Let's stay together. Okay? Nobody gonna love me better. I must stick with you forever. I know that's right, girl. So whatever y'all decide, I don't give a damn. Good luck to the people. That's all that I got, y'all. Y'all have taken up enough of my time. Girl, not two and a half hours. Girl, let me get the fuck. Girl, what the hell? Let me get the hell up out of here. Not 2.5 hours, child. I will catch y'all in the next one, bookies. Bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters. I'm silent. Nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification. Them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM. And the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATL. Got them trying to clone me like Agent Smith. Game time, I invade the gym. High